All right, everybody, we are live. We got my boy Yvonne, aka Pokeneer. What's going on, my dude?
How's it going, man? How's it going? Happy
And
Thursday.
happy Thursday, and thank you so much. I just want to say thank you first before we start off today's video. Thank you for taking the time and just popping on and having a conversation with me. Another Japanese collector.
Of course.
I'm so stoked to have you on. But you want to give a quick little introduction to yourself? What kind of collector you are?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I especially like to just get on and talk from like the collector side because I feel like there's not a lot of like collector like themed discussion going on. A lot of it is like investment, and that's fine too. I love that discussion too. But I appreciate you having me on. Just we talk for a little bit. But yeah. So my name is, I go by Pokeneer online. It's supposed to be a combination of Pokemon and engineer. I'm an engineer for my day job. I got back into the hobby in 2020, like a lot of people did. But originally I have the same kind of story that most people did. Most people have. I was into Pokemon cards when I was 8 or 9. I think I was about 6 in 1999 when Basic came out, but I was really big when like Rocket and Fossil were out. So I was big into it then, and then fell off like most people. And then in high school, and this was back in 2009, 2010, I was just a nostalgic kid, I guess, and I just wanted like a lot of the toys I had from like a child. I wanted to kind of save those as an adult, and I didn't have all my Pokemon cards. I got rid of them like most people. But when I was like a sophomore, junior high school, I got on eBay and I got on YouTube, and me and my brother's 3.5 years younger than me. We got on eBay, we got on YouTube, and we started just buying cards. Everything was dirt cheap back then. And since I was, 14-year-old in high school, I didn't really have a lot of money. So I naturally gravitated towards Japanese, and not just the money. Obviously, there's a lot of other things about Japanese that I like more compared to the English side. But yeah, so I started buying Japanese cards back then, and I got deep into like the history side of Pokemon, the Japanese promos, the exclusives. That's kind of like what I was really into. I used Bulbapedia like crazy, and I still preach Bulbapedia to this day to everyone that doesn't know what it is. It's wealth of knowledge on every single Pokemon card ever. So anyone that doesn't use Bulbapedia, I highly suggest it. So yeah, I collected all kinds of cards, Game Boy promos, McDonald's promos. I had a Mizaki, Alakazam, McDonald's promos. I got like a Shadowless base set. I collected like the 1 through 151 in English. And then basically after a year or two, I put all that stuff in storage, and it was just my mom's place until 2020 when everything kind of blew up again. And I was, stuck inside like everyone else, and just pulled everything out, realized everything was going crazy. And then I just naturally got back into it, and I just rediscovered my love for Pokemon and love for collecting, especially. So I graded a lot of the cards I had from my childhood. I sold some to buy ones I wanted. And then in the past 5 years, my collection is really, it's grown, and it's just changed a lot, and it's grown and then like minimized. I am a big proponent of like having a focused collection, like a minimal collection, not having so much, but having less of quality items. I think quality over quantity in terms of collectibles is just huge for me. So yeah, that's just who I am now. I'm mostly a collector. I do like, the investment a little bit here and there of like modern stuff. But then I'll just flip the modern into other, vintage cards I like. Cause for me, vintage is just like what I love about Pokemon and the history. So all the old historic cards are my thing. And I'm a Pikachu collector. I haven't said that yet, but yeah, I collect vintage Japanese, mostly exclusive Pikachu cards. Just because they're just so cool. There's so many cool, unique Pikachus, so many cool like releases, and yeah, that's just what I like to collect. And my collection is very like complete right now. It's constantly been changing, and I trade cards out over time. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Huge ramble, but yeah.
No. We needed a full intro. But why I wanted to bring Yvonne on is because, like you said, he's majority Japanese, right? And you don't click any English. right now?
I have like 3 English cards, maybe like 4 Pikachus, and that they're very recent additions. Because I really got a lot of the vintage Japanese Pikachus that I wanted, and then I knew about these Pikachus, and I just didn't have a desire for them until like one day it just kind of clicked that I don't know. There's something that a switch inside me, but like they're very specific Pikachus. They're not. You'll see. Oh, we can talk about them. I can show them off. But yeah, I just have like 3 or 4 Pikachus that are in English, but the rest are Japanese. I'm a Japanese collector.
Was there a certain time where, I mean, you kind of talked about it, maybe it was like financial or whatever, but was there a certain thing that just flipped the switch from you going from English to Japanese, or just wanting to solely collect Japanese? Because I think a lot of us had that switch, and I definitely did. But was there something?
I think it was mostly, back then. What I originally did when I got back into it as like a teenager was I collected like the original 1 through 151, right? I did the binder of like basic jungle fossil, and then I got like the shadowless basic cards, and then after you kind of complete that, you look for more things, and then here and there I'll just see like Japanese cards that you wouldn't see in English, and that really intrigued me. Cards that were exclusive to Japanese. And, I slowly started buying those. And then I realized even the set cards in Japanese are way cheaper. So I could buy like really minty set cards in the Japanese versions. Like, because a lot of the ones that I had in English were just like destroyed copies that everyone was playing with. It's interesting. I didn't say this in my intro. Back then, I said YouTube because back then YouTube was in the Pokemon community. A lot of people were trading cards by mail. And buying cards by mail. People would like make a video with their cards for sale. Like it would just be of their binder. They record of all their things, and then people would either comment or message like, "I'll buy this from you," or "I'll trade this." And then like you do like a TCBM video, trade cards by mail, where you would like open the package and showed people what you traded for. So it was just like a bunch of like teenagers and kids that were using YouTube to trade over the internet. Like people all over the US and all around the world. But yeah, it was really cool. It's like the Wild Wild West of Pokemon YouTube.
That's
back then.
crazy.
Everything you don't see that anymore. You don't like you do like TCBM videos or buy cards by mail videos, and yeah. But yeah, it was initially because of the exclusive artworks that I fell in love with, and then I realized that I could my dollar that I didn't have a lot of back then because I was a teenager, could go a lot further. So that's really what got me into Japanese. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a Japanese IP, right? So
exactly,
all English cards are reprints,
Yep, exactly.
But yeah, they're the originals, and I'm a fan of other Japanese things. Like I'm into Japanese watches, Japanese cars. There's just a lot of things of Japan. I really want to go. It's been a bucket list thing for a long time. Maybe next year, maybe the year after. It might be a honeymoon type thing. So we'll see.
Yeah, you saw. Oh dang! I can't. For some reason, I thought you were frequented Japan. That's crazy. Once me and my girl went, like we're like, this is where we want to be. Like we were talking about like even retiring there, once that time has come. But it's just it's so peaceful. I'm all about like respect and like respecting others like surroundings, and the way that the Japanese people live. It's just so like it feels like it's a utopia. Like that's how society was supposed to be, because everyone's on the same page. It's beautiful. Yeah. But and then the cards, bro. Oh my god, the card shops, like overwhelming to say the least. I was telling Jake, like you go down one whole street and it's just like Pokemon cards, and then you take little back alleys into more shops of Pokemon cards, and it's awesome, bro.
I've only experienced it through videos, and I've seen countless videos of people like going shopping for Pokemon cards in Japan. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
It looks like, the dream shop, because you go to shops here and they're cool, but it's nothing like they have there, like the singles collection, these like walls of singles, and just like anything you could think of. And all the shops kind of seem like they have like their own themes and like either vintage or modern or mid-era. And yeah, I can't wait to go. We're going to go, me and my wife, we're going to go together as a vacation, but for sure, at least a day or 2 or 3 are going to be spent just looking through the Pokemon shops. So
yeah, dude, like you can spend like at least a full 3-4 days just like looking, not even trying to source, just straight up like just like looking. It's crazy. And then you could like, you know, take the train maybe 30 minutes into a small town that has also a shop and just find even more grails. It's insane, bro. It's when when we got off the airplane, so you know, the little walk track or whatever, the little whatever that's called, the little, like the thing you stand on it, it goes faster. What are those called?
I don't know what it's called. It's
Yeah,
like a flat
flat escalator thing.
flat escalator. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we're on that, right? And my girl's like, you're not even looking around. So like, I turn to my left, and there's this giant like Pokemon mural like coming into. I'm like, what the hell? Just like straight off the plane, just right into Pokemon. And it's dude, it's so sick. Like every street you go, there's something Pokemon, you know. It's like you go to the gas station, the gas pumps have a Pikachu on it or something. It's like they're like,
it's so ingrained into their culture.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah.
Biggest media franchise of all time, right? Biggest IP.
Yeah.
So you'd expect that the country it comes from, you know, they know that, and it's just like, you see the pictures, like the manhole covers of like Pokemon, like in all the different cities. And I really wanted to go for Worlds 2023. I think that one was in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Really wanted to go to that one. It would have been so cool. It just wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah,
just because of where I was at back, 2 years ago. But
yeah, same.
Yeah. But super excited for Worlds of next year, right? San Francisco.
Yeah.
We're local. We're both local to it. We're both local to each other, but we're both close to San Francisco. So definitely on my bucket list, and we're all going to try to make it happen. I know,
easy, bro. That's an easy one. I'm still going to stay in the Bay for that. I told Jay, like, my boy Eric was like, oh, let's make it a day trip. I'm like, nah,
you can't do that.
It's
gonna be a whole weekend with the boys just doing everything Pokemon,
Exactly. So. It's sick. I was in San Francisco pretty much every weekend from like 22 to like pretty much 26. I filmed skateboarding, so I was there filming every single weekend. So I know that city like the back of my hand. I love that place.
That's cool.
But yeah, I'm excited for that, and I hope we get another like for Worlds. I hope we get another one in Japan. Maybe one in Korea would be super sick. Like Korean Pokemon cards are kind of on the come up. Do you collect any Korean cards or?
No, I haven't gotten into Korean, although there are some Chinese cards that I have been wanting to pick up. I mean, you might be able to guess which Chinese Pikachus, depending on how plugged in people are.
Okay.
That I want to pick up. They're just expensive. The Chinese 151 Pikachu ARs. Yeah, like the Gengar. Not the Gengar one, but the other, like the Gengar one is very expensive. But the other ones are very cool, and I see them appreciating a lot in the future. I'll just say that. So yeah. And they're in a low right now. So I want to pick them up soon.
Yeah, it's crazy how that market. I mean, I've been in simplified and traditional Chinese cards for. I was like the laughing stock of YouTube when I first was talking. I mean, dude, those videos, bro, they wouldn't even break 50 views.
I remember. I've been watching you for a while now, and I remember you talking about Korean and Chinese cards before anyone was talking about it. Before Chinese cards were cool, like they are cool now. You were collecting Chinese way back then.
Yeah, so like those shout out to my boy JTR put me on. But bro, those I was picking up those tag team cards for like 25 cents. Now they're gone, and especially even in simplified Chinese, you can still get deals and stuff. But once I got into Japanese cards, like fully started diving in, you get the little eBay suggestions, and I was like, man, Korean cards are like pretty cool too. So I just wanted to see your takes. What do you think about the simplified Chinese market with those prices? So you do think they're more undervalued than they are overvalued?
It's not such an easy question to answer because it's such a new market, right?
Yeah.
But if you really look at like a lot of the aspects of the market of those cards specifically, there's a few things that make me think that they're going to appreciate a lot. Those cards specifically, and mostly the Chinese exclusives as a whole, right? Because there's more Chinese exclusives now than just the Pikachus. Obviously, there's the Mew that everyone knows, the 1,500 copies. But then there's also like the gem pack cards, like the evolutions, which are also, I think, very underrated. Obviously the Pikachus are huge because they're very hard to pull. They're amazing artworks. They're all made by the same artist. They're, it's only really sold in China unless you find a person that's selling it outside of China. And they're relatively low pop compared to other modern cards. If you compare it to like McDonald's, the new McDonald's Pikachu, which is like has a crazy amount of PSA 10s, or like the Van Gogh, and just the short time frame that they've been out for. If you look at the first one, I think it's number 170 in the Chinese 151 set. I think there's around 2,000 PSA 10s, and compared to other cards that are modern, that's very low. So
yeah.
And then the last big thing, mainland China only got Pokemon a few years ago. Like Pokemon was only approved to go into mainland China as of a few years ago. Is when like the government, the Chinese government, like approved them to start selling cards. And that's why we're seeing this massive push by Pokemon to release these sets and catch up to the rest of the world. And now they're releasing exclusives to get the Chinese market really excited. And China's getting more exclusives than Japan is right now, which is crazy because it's a Japanese IP. And if you think about the population of China compared to the population of the rest of the countries that collect Pokemon, it's about the same. It's like 1.5 billion if you add up the population of North America, Australia, Europe, and I think it was South America. I think I did like the quick math like a few weeks ago. It's like 1.5 billion and 1.5 billion. So basically China doubled the market of Pokemon, as soon as Pokemon was able. So I think it's huge. I think there's going to be a lot of Chinese collectors in the future that want these cards. In addition to the rest of the world, in addition to Pikachu collectors like me, and there's a lot of Pikachu collectors, it's probably alongside with Charizard, it's one of the most collected Pokemon. So there's just a lot of things that make me very, I'll say, bullish on those cards.
Oh, for sure. Did you watch the last live with me and Brandon Blackwire TCG about?
I think I missed it.
Jake was on it too. It was us three. But he was saying, and I have multiple friends that live in Japan as well, so they're saying the same things. So if you go on eBay and you try to buy I just showed Yvonne this card, the Mega Lucario. So if you look on eBay, there's a ton of Chinese sellers, right? So right now they're having like the like not kind of economic crisis, but with like the housing market, like it very stagnant, right? Very stagnant economy. So they're now purchasing a crap ton of Pokemon cards to try to park money. So they're fully into this investing thing. And if you go on eBay, the first couple pages on these top cards are all Chinese sellers. So I think that the cat's out of the bag, and they know what they have with the simplified and traditional Chinese exclusive cards, and they also see the popularity in Japanese cards. And it's kind of why we see this not really up or down for the Japanese market, like especially the sealed products, right? Which is crazy. Man, the Japanese market, and you could tap in at any moment, but it hasn't felt this strong in a while. You know what I mean? As far as like the sealed product and like some of the sealed, like some of the singles, they don't really fluctuate as far as like the ultra modern. What do you see in maybe the not ultra modern, because that's mainly where you're at, right?
I mean, across the board, across all of Pokemon right now, if you have a hit card, it's a good chance that like it's gone up a lot. Pokemon is just so hot right now. Like across the board, it's hot. It's across in vintage and modern. Obviously there's waves, like a lot of the tension like fluctuates between modern and vintage. Vintage has been strong, at least with the card, like a lot of my Pikachu cards. They're definitely up. Like in the past year, they're up like crazy, and it's not just Pikachu's. It's all kind of like vintage, like chase cards, from like almost every era is up right now. But yeah, you're right. It's in the past, like in 2023, there's a big Japanese boom. That wasn't like you didn't see it as much in English. Obviously in 2020, 2021, English had a huge boom, but right now everything is up. everything is up, right? And another point that I've heard other big sellers. I'm not a huge seller, right? I'm mostly a collector. I sell here and there, but from other big sellers that you watch online, SM Prad and people like that, they say how there's a lot of wealthy Chinese collectors, right?
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
If you think about China and if you think about the economic boom they've had in the last 30 years, 40 years, there's a lot of wealthy Chinese collectors, and they're spending a lot of money, and people are saying that as soon as these like top grails go to China and they go to these collections, they don't leave. These people just hold on. So that market is swallowing up a lot of, especially the Japanese cards. It's just more for them. It's more accessible. They're right there. They're right next to China. It's the same kind of
exactly.
It's similar culture. So they're going to more quickly get into Japanese cards than they're going to get into English cards. So that's helping I personally think that's helping the Japanese market kind of go crazy in the past year and kept up with English, because English has gone crazy too in the past year. So
well, you said something very important. You said the Chinese market, it just really helped double the Pokemon market in general. And I make this joke all the time, but I literally get at least one DM a day asking me when the Japanese market is going to get better. And I'm like, this is it. This is it. Because you have China, that you have investors from China that would say, I'd much rather go take a plane ride to Japan, go wipe out, grab all the PSA 10s, come back. And like you just said, they don't leave China.
Right.
Like these collectors are that's it, where it's like, and I think in American culture, we have this more like flipping and selling, so adding that, 1.5, would you say 1.5 billion or whatever of extra people into this hobby. It's a lot of people. And then just like you said, the same thing with the Chinese government, like they're trying to play catch up right now. That's what did they start with in Simplified Chinese? They started with my friend Jordan's going to kill me, but I think they started with Sun and Moon, right?
Yeah, I was going to say somewhere in Sun and Moon. I don't know the exact set, but
so Sun and Moon, because they realized that that is the most popular. That was the most popular at the time. They saw the card prices going crazy. So I mean, shout out to them. And I agree. I mean, sorry, it's huge ramble, but what I completely agree with you. Like those Simplified Chinese cards, bro, like there's so much opportunity there. And I think like nobody's looking at those cards. We're all looking at the prices, and a lot of those cards I also believe are undervalued. Even like those the Gem 3, like the Umbreons or the, anything with the Chinese stamp,
right,
bro. Like it's we kind of had are going through a little stamp craze right now, right? That's kind of.
Well, yeah, stamps are huge in English. English collectors have always been about stamps, But stamps have been popular since the beginning for English. They're popular now for English, Pokemon Center stamps and whatnot. But hot take. And I told Jake this there's Jake. I told Jake this a few days ago. A hot take of mine. I really think those Pikachu ARs are like the next Ponchos. I really do. It's a uniform, full art, all alt art Pikachu. They remind me of the Ponchos so much, and I feel like 2 to 3 years, maybe 5, I don't know, 5 years, whenever. But they're gonna be low pop compared to the rest of the modern cards. They're gonna be Pikachus, which there's a bunch of crazy Pikachu collectors. Look at me, and they're just gorgeous. They're gorgeous. They're illustrated by the same artist. They look great. They look way better than the Ponchos. So
are those a buy right now?
Oh, they're 100% a buy. And I mean, I haven't even picked them up, and I'm talking about them like this. I want to pick them up. So it's
what's the price going for them right now though?
I think so. The first two, so it's 170, 171. I think I've been watching auctions go for around 1,000. Okay. I am personally a CGC collector. CGC collect the CGC 10s are going for less, so I'm trying to pick up a CGC 10 if I can. It's also tough right now because of tariffs, and a lot of them are in China. So if you want to buy one from China, it might sell for 600, 650, 700, but then you got to pay tariffs on top of that. I'm trying to find one from the US and save on tariffs, and it's just for me personally, it's hard right now. And I told you before the stream, me and my wife have had a bunch of big expenses the past couple of months, so it's hard to put a lot of money into Pokemon right now. But I'm looking actively at a at a good deal on one of those Pikachu ARs, either the 170 or the 171. I'm gonna pick one up soon. And I've thought about trading like a couple of my vintage Pikachu cards, but it's so hard for me because I really am a vintage fan. So for me to like trade like 3 vintage low pop Pikachus that are like 200, valued at 200 each for like a modern card that was just printed, it hurts me as like someone that loves the history, that loves like vintage cards. It hurts me a little bit to do that. And I have contemplated it, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to keep my vintage cards. I think I'm going to keep my Pikachu collection as I have it right now, and then and just pay for a CGC 10 just out of pocket. So
yeah, I've been looking at those cards too, and like they intrigue me, but they also scare me. Like it is scary.
It's not guaranteed. There is risk for sure.
Yeah, I do love those arts. I think they capture like the very like sweet, fun, playful side of like Pokemon, and I believe those cards always do well over time. I do want to own that Gengar Pikachu. That's the one, but
bro, if it's a Pikachu, if it's a promo, if it's exclusive, like it's gonna go up. And these are full art. Look at the other full art Pikachus that are exclusive. Like look at the Chinese 5th. Like that one went crazy, right? The 5th anniversary Chinese Pikachu. That one was like, it came out and it was like 300-400 in PSA 10. It dropped a little bit and then it shot up to like 2,500 at one point during its peak. Look at like the Detective Pikachu, the Van Gogh. The Van Gogh is an exclusive. It's an English exclusive.
Yeah.
That's the only reason it's at its price that it is now, because you have collectors of any language chasing that card. So that's why people should not sleep on exclusives. And I'm not the first person to say this, obviously. Like, everyone knows that exclusives are big. But it's like, if you're a Japanese collector, if you're an English collector, it doesn't matter. Like, you want that card, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It's 2 racks right now.
For what? For what? What are you looking at?
For the Gengar.
The Gengar is expensive. Obviously, you have to expect it because it's Gengar, and there's so many crazy Gengar collectors. I mean, it's 2 of the biggest Pokemon on one card, and it's an awesome card. And now it's October, it's Halloween. Like this.
That's true.
True. It's the season. So they're awesome cards. And then the fourth one comes out soon, and just the way that they did the release of those cards was just so cool. It's like 4 different versions of 151 where just one card changed, in each release. So yeah, it goes from 170 is the first one, which is Pikachu like in the air by himself, and then 171, which is Pikachu with Psyduck, and then 172 Pikachu with Gengar, and then 173, which is the 4th one, is like there's like 4 or 5 Pikachus on the same card.
Yeah,
all illustrated by the same artist, the same kind of art style. They're very hard to pull. I don't know. Ponchos are proven to be hot grails. It's true. Ponchos are, but I think if you
I hate those cards.
I am not a fan either, and I am a Pikachu collector. I think they're way over, like the prices are just too high for what I would buy them for. I would like artistically, they just don't do anything for me. Like a Pikachu in a little costume. It's like, there's nothing about it. Like, look at this. It's like you have 4 Pokemon on one card, and it's beautiful. Yeah, it's great. And if you like think about it, 1,600. What are Ponchos going for?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm on the hold and wait crowd, because I'm on that crowd because it's like what is it? What's that term where a high rise raises all ships? It's like that is like kind of where I am with the entire market. I'm like, do we see a pullback in the next year or two? But I'm like, at that point, what is this card at, like $5,000? It's
tough. It's tough because everything's up right now, and I'm also not buying cards right now. My last big purchase was like in May, and that was like a part trade, part purchase. But yeah, I'm also not buying because it is a sketchy time to buy right now. You usually do not want to buy in a market like this. But it's tough because some cards, most cards will, they've been going up and they'll go down, but some cards will just keep going up, but I'm the same way. I'm being hesitant. I'm not buying the Gengar Pikachu. That one's way too hot. I think it has room to go down. We'll see, but I do eventually want to pick it up. But
yeah, same, bro. I agree. Like, I mean, this is just it's a recipe for disaster in all the right reasons. It's if I had to own any of the two, I just want this one and the Psyduck. I think those are going to be and I 100% agree with you. These are going to be the modern ponchos for Simplified Chinese. And there, I know the artist was like these are Chinese exclusives like forever. Supposedly it was the contract through that. So
that's the other tough thing is we don't know. And like these prices, it is already factored in that these are exclusive. Like as soon as you see these in another language, like these are going to go down like crazy. I mean, it happens with all cards like this. Every Japanese card that comes out, where people think it's going to be exclusive, you know, it goes for crazy money. And then as soon as the English copy gets revealed, it, you know, shoots down. You saw it just recently with the Meowth, right? The Meowth promo. Like as soon as people found out it's in Phantasmal Flame, so like everyone started selling it because they thought it was gonna be an exclusive. I mean, Japan just hasn't had exclusives for a while. Like even Korea had one, right? Like they had the Ditto. Even
the Ditto.
Koreans getting exclusives.
Yeah. I like. It's just. It's like one of those. I feel like it's like me with Evolving Skies. I didn't pull the trigger on Evolving Skies booster box at like 500, and then I was like, I got a time for it. It's 1,000. It's gonna consolidate here. Yeah, like I look at this card exactly, the Gengar Pikachu, and I'm like, and I'm a Simplified Chinese collector, you know, so it just made too much sense, but yeah, sorry to get on a Simplified Chinese rant.
No, man, I love it. I mean, I've been getting. Oh, sorry, everyone else, if you're not into Chinese, but yeah, I've been looking into them heavily recently, so I love talking about it. It's hard spending that much on a modern card. You know, that's the thing for me. It's like this thing just came off a printing press, like wherever it was printed. Like it just feels weird to pay like $1,500 for a piece of cardboard. I get it. Like it was just printed. It has no history. It has nothing. Like. It is weird. So
are you more on that side of the more like cautionary, or are you more of like believing that these are going to be the floor and that we're just in a new market where we can see these cards, you know, 10, 50x in the next, you know, couple of years? Like, I mean, battle with that.
It's impossible to know right now. Like I've been back into it, Pokemon heavily since 2020, right? I haven't really left since 2020. My buying habits and collecting habits have gone up and down, but I've never left since 2020. But it feels like now it's so impossible to predict what's going to happen right now because everything is so crazy. Things like all my predictions for like what would happen by now are like just wrong. Like at the beginning of the year when this market was heating up, I was like, this is going to last until like the summer. Like there's no way. Like there were so many other like big market conditions that people were. I was just like, there's no way like this big craze is going to keep going like this. And now it's October. There's no signs of slowing down, only going up. So I don't think that's where I'm coming from for those cards. I don't have a lot of modern cards. For me, as someone that likes, I kind of already said it already, but someone that likes history, I only feel comfortable putting so much money into older cards like that, lower pop cards. It scares me having so much money in a card that there can be so many copies of. And this is mostly in reference to like Van Gogh, which like that's cards over $2,000 and it's close to 50,000 PSA 10s, right? I mean, it's just crazy. And there's many cards like that, but that's like the most egregious one with its price. But I mean, it's tough. It's tough to say, man. I was gonna say it makes sense. It's an exclusive, you know, artwork. It's a Pikachu, but it's tough. I'm waiting. I'm willing to spend it on the other ones because, like I said, I do think they're going to go up like crazy in the next couple of years. So I do like investing that sense. Like I'll buy something for my collection, like a modern card if I think it's going to go up, and then I'll trade it in a few years for like a vintage Grail, for example. So yeah, I see those doing that. I'm going to pick them up in the next couple of months, and then we'll see what happens. So.
Yeah, it's a scary time, bro. That's just to summarize.
But it's a fun time. It's a fun time if you're just like if you're not like spending big money. It's fun to like see what's happening. There's always news. Like you can see your cards, you know, appreciating. That's cool to see. Even if you're not selling them, it's good to know that you have things that are worth a lot of money. And if you do need the money, like you can get rid of them. And I think that's part of being a collector and being into collectibles is like yes, obviously, like pure collecting, you should care about the monetary value, but when you are putting so much of like your monthly income, if you're spending so much on this, it can be a little irresponsible to not care at all. Like to think, oh, it can all go to zero and I'll be fine. It's like, I wouldn't be spending that much if I thought that was okay, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, the tough part for me is like I cover this damn market like so much that I just the hype and FOMO hits me like real hard to see like I mean it was me with Brilliant Stars. Like I grabbed, I don't know if you saw, but I grabbed a box in German for like $375. I was like, I'm not paying $600 for Brilliant Stars, bro. Like, yeah. It's hard for me to spend that type of money when I was in the Sword and Shield era, when I had all the chances to buy at those. So it's but
I think FOMO mentality is huge, one, for our generation because of the internet and social media and whatnot. But then it's like doubly so when you're in collectibles and you're in this space. It's like you feel FOMO all the time because it's like, oh, I could buy this. I could sell it later for money. And it's like you feel like you're missing out. You're missing out if you don't buy like everything. If you don't buy this, you don't buy that. But like I try to remind myself very often that it's like this is only the most modern set. There's gonna be a new set in 3 months. You know, it's gonna be great. Like modern cards are always changing. You know, there's always a new good modern card. It's like that card that you think you need to get because it's so cool and it's gonna go up in value. There's gonna be other really cool new cards that are gonna come out in a few months. You know, that haven't been revealed yet. That are you probably will like them more. So it's like I try to remind myself and tell other people it's like don't FOMO. You should really be thinking about your purchases because, if you're a collector in this space, I think it's the best way to do it. And there's been a lot of discussion recently. I think Jake talked about this, and Earn, which is Jake's new host on the new podcast, Earn Collects. They talk about collectors always win, So it's like as long as you are buying and you're collecting and you're buying things out of like a collecting mindset, if you're buying things that are cool, you're going to be fine. You don't need to just buy everything like as an investment. Just collect, buy cool stuff that you think is cool. Other people are going to think they're cool too, because, as unique and special as we all are, we all have like similar tastes, especially in Pokemon. Yeah. So like cool things, cool cards are cool cards. So
yeah, the FOMO stuff. Yeah, it's definitely hard, especially because like I said, I cover the markets. I see these booster boxes just rising like $30-$50 a week. I'm like, bro, like I'm gonna be priced out in 3 weeks. Yeah, so I try to, I do the same thing, bro. I try to like give myself little reminders of like, dude, there's gonna be another booster box that you could potentially hold. Yeah. I almost pulled the trigger on a Lost Thunder booster box last night in Japanese in Spanish. I was like,
Japanese is probably expensive.
I was like, oh, this is fire. I was like, dude, forget $600. Like, oh, I could do this. Like, but I was like, no, let's just wait. I was like, dude, so you've been in here for a while, so the swings of the booster boxes, right? I've seen booster boxes crash from the last boom. Like I saw some of the Sun and Moon boxes like retrace, 20-30%. Do you think we're going to see some of that retracement coming into, or are these new floors for, let's say, like Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield?
I would say we're going to see a retracement in a lot of Pokemon for sure, because that's just how, not just Pokemon, but all markets do that, right? They go up and down, Right now we're going up steady. We're going to go down eventually. So I don't think right now is the floor. I think there will be floors that will be set. I don't think a lot of like the big chases, the big booster boxes, like the new low that's about to happen will be higher than previous low, unless something major happens around the world or major happens with Pokemon, which it won't happen with Pokemon. Maybe a major thing will happen with the world where everyone, needs to like sell. Major recession. Yeah, but I don't think anything with Pokemon specifically is going to trigger that. It's going to be a worldwide kind of thing. But yeah, everything's up and down. Just try not to buy in the up. Try to sell stuff during times like this if you can. If you have things that you don't really love, if it doesn't bring you joy, right? That's that common saying that common mantra. Like, does it spark joy? If you have things that don't spark joy, and Jake's been talking about this, like right now is the time to be looking at your collection, like very like meticulously, and like what do you not need right now? Like what like do you like, but like you don't need it. Like what can you sell this for? Hold on to that cash, and then like in the next down market, buy other things you want, or buy that thing back. Even if it's something that's like very high pop that like you could easily buy again, just sell it now and just buy it again in like a few months, or
exactly.
And even if you can't, it's like, that's why you should buy the things you don't love, because you might not be able to get things back. I've sold things that I wish I didn't sell that went crazy, but that's okay, because there's so many other modern cards coming out that I'm gonna love, and that I can add to my collection. So it's never the end of the world. Like, as long as just keep the stuff you really love, get rid of the stuff you don't need, and I think you're gonna do great.
Yeah.
So
and I think it's, or let me throw this question out at you. Is it so? Do you feel that way with sealed product as well, or is it just singles? Because I kind of feel the opposite when it comes to like sealed.
Tell me what you think.
Like sealed, like gives me anxiety. And I'm such a mellow person. I never get anxiety, bro. But like thinking about like not owning some of these booster boxes, because I see the Hollow Phantoms, I see the what was the one that, oh my gosh, what was Primal Clash? I was like, some of these booster boxes, I'm like, will I ever own, will I ever feel comfortable? And the same thing with another one, Burning Shadows. I wanted to own a Burning Shadows booster box when it was like down to, it was like $500, right? And I was like, oh, that's, no one's gonna want Burning Shadows. You know how much Burning Shadows are going for right now? $1,200. Did you ever think Burning Shadows was gonna?
No. Burning Shadows, you mean the English set, right? Burning Shadows is an English set. So and that set had a booster box. You're talking about the booster box, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're a booster box collector?
Yeah.
Right? Do you have like, because I know that you buy booster boxes. I know you like invest in booster boxes, and like you sell them for like profit, which a lot of people do right now. It's really popular right now. It's really smart, that strategy. Do you always keep one of each box?
Always keep at least one, sometimes even two. So
because you're a collector.
Yeah. Okay. I do want to open one. So like if I'm ever like, this is gonna sound grim, but if I'm like ever on my deathbed, I just open some freaking Pokemon, all the boxes. I don't even care, dude. So I don't know if you watched my last video. So this is that German Brilliant Stars right here.
That's sick.
Yeah. And it's stuff like this, like dude, the comments I got when I bought this, everyone's like, "Oh, you're just broke. You're broke. if you're broke, just say it." I'm like, I am broke. Yes, you're right. But it's not because I don't want to pay $650 for Brilliant Stars or whatever it is, right? But for me, what gets me like so, like, I mean, I'm getting like hyped up just talking about this, right? But it's the hunt for stuff that people don't normally see,
right?
And it's the stuff like a German Brilliant Stars box, that's the stuff that like really sparks my interest. And I never really got into like the exclusive promo stamps, or like, maybe you feel the same way with like your Pikachu cards. You're like, there's a low pop. It's kind of the same thing for me, but with like obscure items like that, in other languages. People are like, "Oh, dude, freaking, you have a Portuguese Twilight Masquerade?" Like, it's.
So what do you like about the German booster box? Do you like that other people don't have it? Do you like that you just don't see it very often?
Yeah, both.
Everything about it.
Yeah, I like when people just come into the room, the Poke Corner, and they're like, "Oh, it's Brilliant Stars." I'm like, look at it, look closer. That's why I wanted that Lost Thunder in Spanish, bro.
Yeah.
That was so sick. Like,
well, it's like really similar or the same art, right, on the box. Besides like the wording.
Same art. Yep, exact same wording. Yeah, my boy that I had on maybe like 2 months ago, he's talking about he was buying up all the Spanish Unified Mines. It's going crazy. Great investment. It was one of the best investments.
It's always best to look where people aren't looking, especially in a market like this. You shouldn't be buying the big chase cards that are going crazy, because then you're just a statistic. You're just part of like that Instagram post that people are seeing of like cards going crazy. You're just like a dot on that chart,
for sure.
Go after stuff that people aren't buying that are still cool. There's so many cool things in this hobby, and and not just Pokemon TCG, but like other TCGs and other collectibles. Like I'm a collector at heart. I collect a few different things, not just Pokemon cards. But there's so many things that are really cool that are very cheap that you can buy. It's like there's a good chance that if they're cool, that they're gonna go up in value too, just like Pokemon cards are too. You know, it might take a little longer, it might not be the same growth, but it's like you can still collect outside of Pokemon. In Pokemon, it doesn't have to be like the stuff that everyone else wants. You know, like the people that make smart decisions. Like what's the famous saying? Like be fearful while others are greedy. Be greedy while others are fearful. Yeah. So it's like buy the stuff that no one else is buying, you know, and don't buy the stuff that everyone is buying. I don't know. Like unless you really want it, obviously buy it, but don't expect that that your investment is like going to be for sure. Like it probably will. It might take longer though if you buy it at the wrong time. But if you're buying from the collector's standpoint, who cares? Just buy what you want.
Yeah, I want to just add on to that. So like with me, like there's a lot of the alternate arts and let's say like the booster boxes, like we just talked about. Like I felt like they were out of reach. So then I started to look into like I'm like, okay, what are cheaper, more affordable options? And like the Korean version of like the Lugia from Silver Tempest, right? Still $200 card around there. Simplified Chinese Giratina is like around $200, and it's something that not a lot of people are looking at. You know, they're all the eyes are on how expensive it is in English or Japanese. Like Japanese now, it's almost rivaling the English prices. So
don't remind me. Dude, I bought the. I got the Lugia V in Japanese and I got the Giratina V Japanese towards the end of last year. I got them both. Yeah. And I loved them. And that's like when I was like really into modern, and I had not a substantial, but like I had, like 20 modern slabs, and I traded them towards like a Pikachu, like a vintage English Pikachu card. Dang. And now those cards are worth like 3 times what I sold. But it's fine because I bought them and they had doubled, and I was like, oh, this is great. Now I can that's like my thing. I like to like buy a modern card, have it in my collection because it's a cool card, and then once it doubles or triples, then I can trade it to like something that I think is rare, more vintage that you just don't see very often. So that's what I did. But now it's like tripled or whatever. Everything's crazy right now. Who knows?
Yeah, like I said, I'm also like waiting for the pullback. Like, I want this market to like actually come back to reality, and then we can go from there. Because like I said, I've been here for now 2 sets, and I've seen the correction, and I know that these aren't the floor. Or I feel like I hate to say I feel like, because that means nothing. But I feel like that this is not the floor. So I have hope.
Definitely. No, definitely not. Definitely not. But it's so hard. It's so hard. Everything's changed so much in this hobby, so it's hard.
Yeah. And I hate like the YouTubers. They're saying like, oh, nothing's changed. I'm like, bro, you guys are crazy. What's changed is 1.5 billion people just got here, and everyone's taking investing seriously. But I want to ask you. So we pretty much covered the first 3 questions that I had to ask you. But I want to talk about maybe a Pikachu, to harp back onto the Pikachu stuff, but maybe a Pikachu card that you're looking at, maybe even a play. Maybe are you trying to make a play on any card right now, or something you got your eye on in the modern market?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I didn't talk about the Chinese ones, because I mean those Chinese ones are the perfect answer to your question, right? Those are those would be like the play. I haven't gotten so into like the flipping thing. So I recently graduated. I was in the Navy before. You might see the poster back then. Or maybe not in the StreamYard, but I was in the Navy, and I got out in 2020, and then I used the GI Bill to get my degree, and I just graduated in May. So this whole time that I've been back in, you would think I would be like flipping and doing stuff for profit because as a broke student, but actually like I just didn't have like the mind capacity to kind of like deal with all like the stresses of buying and flipping and hoping to get a 10 and then being able to sell soon enough before it drops. So it's like I was during those 5 years of going to school, I was just like collecting and buying sealed boxes here and there. But now that like I'm done and I'm just working, and I feel like, my 9 to 5 is like, that's all I got to worry about. And now I have after work and weekends and everything's cool. I don't have assignments due at midnight or whatever. I can finally get into like the flips and like try to like buy singles and grade them and flip them. But I've had this idea of vending more. You know, I have my PC, but as like a thing I can do on the side to just like fund the PC and just have fun is like, I think it'd be cool to be a vendor that only does Pikachus. Like,
That would be sick.
you go to my table and all I have is Pikachus, you know? And yeah, that's kind of what I've been thinking. I think I'm out of more here and there, but like I kind of hear this because we're gonna go to show this weekend together here in Sacramento, beautiful Sacramento, California. We're gonna show together, so I'm just gonna be looking at Pikachus, and we'll see if I can get this little idea, make it, you know, into fruition. You know, we'll see if I can find a couple gradable ones. Obviously you have that 151, no, not 151, the Celebrations Pikachu with like the 3% 10 rate, the full art, the
crazy.
That thing's crazy. But yeah, I'm just gonna be looking for all kinds of just for modern. I think you have to, for me, modern is full arts. I'm not a big half art for modern. Like, obviously most of my cards are vintage and they're all half arts, but for modern I really just like the full art cards. I think that's what makes a modern card for me. So all of the modern full art Pikachus from the past 5 years I'll probably be looking at, see about grading and flipping a couple of those. But like, you know, to answer your question, I already kind of did, like the 151 Chinese, the simplified Chinese, those Pikachus. I think that's like the big thing to answer your question. In terms of like Pikachus I think are undervalued, for sure. There's a couple in my collection that I think should be worth a lot more than they are. Some that are worth a lot of money that I think should be worth even more because of how rare they are and how like important they are to the hobby. But yeah, and then like other ones that are just not worth a lot of money, and I don't know, I think they're undervalued. Yeah, I think I answered your question.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to show some of the Pikachu cards that you said you brought to?
I have all my Pikachu cards.
Oh,
here,
well, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, maybe I don't know. Show one that you think that is like undervalued in your collection. I guess pump the card, pump it up
a little bit. I'll show a Pikachu. Simplified Chinese Charizard UPC. I don't know if I know what they're talking about.
Maybe it's a box.
Maybe.
Sorry, Lou. Yeah.
So this is a Pikachu. I got into this Pikachu, I think early 2021, and no one was talking about this Pikachu back then. So everyone has seen this artwork. There's been a lot of printings of this card, but this is the Korokoro Ivy Pikachu from 1996, and it came out 5 days before base set in Japan. So technically, and it came out with a Jigglypuff too. Technically, this card and that Jigglypuff are the first Pokemon TCG cards ever released, like before base set. Like, obviously you have the 1996 Bandai cards that came out before, but they're not official TCG. But this one is, and there's a couple of different printings. This one, it's not extremely rare, but it's very rare in higher grades. So there's actually no 10s graded of this card in any grading company.
Wow.
There's only 9s, and across CGC, BGS, and PSA, there's like less than 25 9s. So like for like how historic this card is, like the first Pikachu, it's an error card. It's hard to grade. It's the first Pokemon card. Like, there's so many things going for it. I think and it's not cheap. It's all relative, right? I think the last PSA 9 sold for like $5,000, which that's a lot of money. But like when you compare it to like other cards that are very early and low pop, it's not, you know? So yeah, this is like a very special card to me. I recently picked it up in a 9. I had it. I had an 8.5, a CGC 8.5, which I bought raw and graded. And then I upgraded. I have a couple friends in the hobby that I've met online that are also into this card in the past couple of years, just because of how I've been tracking it. And, you know, I have like an eBay search for this card, and I'm always looking for them. But the past couple of years has been a lot of like focus, that has come to this card a lot more than there was when I first got into it. But one of my friends that I've made in the hobby, shout out to the Rare Collectible on Instagram, he helped me upgrade my 8.5 to this 9. So yeah, this is like a huge cornerstone in my collection. I'll never sell it. I just think it's way too cool. It's way too historic for me.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that like I think will be like, it's just like, you know, it's a grail for me in the hobby. So I think it's worth a lot more to me than what it's currently selling for. So
yeah, $5,000 for that, bro. That's crazy. And no tens is an insane.
No tens. There's two tens. There's two tens on the PSA Pop Report, but they've both been confirmed to be the wrong version. So because there's like 4 different Japanese versions of this card. I don't know if my camera's gonna pick it up, but you see Ken Sugimori right there?
Mm-hmm.
This is not a Ken Sugimori artwork, so it's an error. It's an error. So that's how you distinguish the very first one. They incorrectly put Ken Sugimori on the bottom of the card. The correct artist is Kenebuchi. She's the one that did all the early like computer graphics for like base set, like the Porygon and stuff like that. That was that artist. So yeah, that's how you distinguish this card. Is it has the incorrect artist on it. So
crazy.
So the 2 that are PSA 10s, they have like a different artist. So it's like it's not the right copy. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So people have debunked like the whole. So yeah, not only PSA 9s, which is wild, which does not happen very often where there's no PSA 10s.
I wonder if that bothers Jake that you have that's not a. It's not a 10.
Oh, Jake's a vintage 9 collector, though. You know,
I just want to
vintage gens are just way too expensive. Jake's very reasonable collector. You know, he's very level-headed for sure.
We got a question. Gajin says, "Does Final Boss have a Pikachu Rumble?" That's actually my favorite.
Rumble.
That's
your favorite Pikachu card
of all time. Yeah.
It is a cool card. I've seen it, and I'm like, that is cool. I think the thing for me is, it's gonna be weird because I just showed a card that's not like an exclusive. Like this card did come out in English.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so weird for me to say that, but I guess because it did come out in English and Japanese, that's why I never really got into it so heavily. But it's a really cool card, very unique artwork, and it's fairly low pop, I think. So it is a cool card. I don't have many cards from like the mid era. You know, most of my collection is up until 2002, and then I have like a 2004 Pikachu, which is another grail of mine, and then I have like a 2018 Pikachu, but the rest of my Pikachus are from 2002 and before. So
yeah,
with most of them being from the 90s.
Sick. I've had thoughts of starting a nice little Pikachu binder of rare, but I think we talked about it when we first met. I have no problem picking up a PSA 4. At all. Like I just want the card. But I would want more binder copies. So
that's the thing, dude. I follow, obviously I'm on Instagram. I follow a bunch of Pikachu collectors. I use my Instagram as like a display of my collection, which it's not fully uploaded. I'm just lacking to upload.
I'm terrible too, bro.
Yeah, I've been meaning to just. All my posts are just like my current PC, but I've just like been delaying just because there's like a couple things that I want to get re-slabbed. So it's like I've been delaying it. But there's a couple of people I follow, a lot of Pikachu collectors that I follow on Instagram, and you can have like a sick binder of only Pikachu cards, and it's like a full binder of only Pikachu because there's so many. Like that's one of the reasons I got into collecting Pikachus is because one, there's so many cool ones. There's also just so many Pikachu collectors that like I really don't think like when I want to have a certain amount of money in my collection, it's like I want it to be in cards that I don't think will go down, and I don't think Pikachu cards will ever go down just because there's so many Pikachu collectors.
Well, yeah, it's a mascot. Mascot.
Yeah, it's a mascot. Of Pokemon.
It's a Michael Jordan of Pokemon for sure. Hydus says, your take on I Choose You Pikachu promos with a hat. Remember having those in promo from the movie?
I think I know which ones he's talking about. I think they're like from the late teens. I think you can pull them up. I think it's like I know of one. I think it's a Pikachu wearing like a Ash's hat.
Oh yeah,
I think that's what he means with the hat.
Yeah, let me pull this up. Bam.
Right. Yeah.
I really like these.
I think it's a cool card.
These are damaged. My bad. $40. Dang. This might be a play.
Might be a pickup.
This might be a pickup. I hate how everything's combed through though online, bro.
Yeah.
It pisses me off.
It's a lot of like the big chase cards that people like, it's not super easy to get them anymore, especially raw, like especially on TCG Player. Like you never know what you're gonna get. I just recently did a purchase from TCG Player for my wife, who's a Snorlax collector, and we ordered like. Oh, your girlfriend collects Snorlaxes?
Yeah.
So we ordered 4 of the same card because she really wants this one Snorlax in the PSA 10, and we didn't want to pay for it. It's like a $40 near mint card, but like the PSA 10s, like I think we got an offer for like 600. So it's like, well, it's not super old. This one is from Sun and Moon. And we're like, let's just buy a couple raw ones and see if we can just grade a 10, maybe a 9. She's fine with having a 9. But then we ordered 4 or 5 from TCG's Player, and they all came in, and it's like, bro, I don't even, maybe an 8 we'll get out of here. You know, it's like, it's rough. It's rough for like those cards that like people want a lot, like the raw ones. It's tough. It's tough to get raw ones. It's really good to see them in person. Like going to card shows, really, if you want to buy raw cards and you want them to be minty, like you actually care about that.
That's what that's what when I hung out with you and Jake, dude, that first card show, like I learned a lot from Jake, that card show. But I think the card shows are definitely the spot where, like you said, we can find those grails, you know, or the not grails but gems of potential 9s or 10s in some of those cards. Now that you said the Snorlax, I want to show you this really quick. It's like right here.
I got 2 I got her Snorlax plush. I got that at Collecticon earlier this year. And then she has a gold Snorlax from Chilling Reign.
So peep this. Oh shoot, I dropped the mic.
Dude, you see mine behind me? Oh, that one's bigger, I think. You see this one?
This thing's huge. So let me pick the mic up. So that Snorlax is it's a vintage Snorlax. I paid like 3 and some change for it for Christmas for her.
Is it good at least 9?
Yeah, this is a PSA 10 for sure.
What? Sick.
Minty PSA 10 plush, bro. Like this thing. So I showed it to her and she needed it. So I was like, oh, dude, I saw the tags on it. I think it has. What's the year?
She needed it, or you needed it?
She needed it.
It's in your Poke office right now.
Well, yeah, because our apartment is so small, bro. So
gotcha.
all the plushes have now.
All the collectibles are in the Poke office.
Yeah. But yeah, so all of her. So she had a Snorlax corner. I bought her like this giant Snorlax beanbag. Everything is Snorlax. So she would you and her and your wife would get along freaking just fine.
I mean, they probably meet each other if your girlfriend goes this weekend. My wife's taking my wife, so she's bringing her Snorlax binder, and they can probably vibe out over Snorlaxes.
Yeah, my girl's a Jigglypuff and Snorlax, so
nice. My girl is a Snorlax and Octillery because she's a big octopus fan.
Dang, that's sick. Very interesting.
She's got a little Octillery collection too. Yeah,
Octillery. I always get Octillery and Clobopus. Clobopus is the blue one?
Probably, because Octillery's red.
Oh, okay, Octillery's red. Freaking Mike just
step on the cord.
You're good. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's take a Lou's question. He says, how do you find out about these unique cards? Is it a bunch of research, or maybe I'm still new to the hobby?
Yeah, I mean, if you're new to the hobby, for sure, it's going to be hard to know of many cards that aren't like super, like that aren't cards that people are talking about right now. Because right now everyone's talking about modern, so it's like it's really easy to know about modern cards, and those are obviously like those are the new ones. All the YouTube videos are about that. There is so many Pokemon cards, so you really have to focus. You know, if you really want to get into vintage, I don't know how to help if you're an English only collector. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, Bulbapedia, the website, is an amazing resource. Like you can like, so for me, you can either go to like Bulbapedia Japanese promos, and then you can look at like all the different years. It started with like unnumbered promos, and that's where like the OG kind of vintage cards are. And then they have them sorted by years and different promo sets. But then like also like for me, I probably have Googled Pikachu TCG Bulba like hundreds of times. So like I just Google Pikachu TCG Bulba, and it'll bring up all the Pikachu TCG cards on the Bulbapedia website, and they're listed in like release order, and then they're listed in like alphabetical order after that. But then you can like click onto each one, and it'll bring you to the specific page for each card, and on that page it has all the release information for it. So like if you go to Bulbapedia and you go to like, you find this Pikachu and you go to it, it will tell you all the different releases and when they came out and how they released, and it has all the different artworks. So Bulbapedia is a great resource. Then just like probably just different, obviously E4, the website, the Elite Forum, where just like all the old heads are from there and are still there. It's like a forum that started in the late 2000s or early 2010s, where people were into Pokemon and talking about Pokemon before anyone else was. So like a lot of the people that are very knowledgeable, a lot of the people that have huge collections are on E4 or from E4. And then just YouTube, just the right people, like people that are into vintage, which, you know, it's not super easy to find people that are into vintage, but like I think it's Sleeve No Card Behind. He's a good YouTube channel. He talks about a lot of old vintage.
Oh yeah, he's
cards.
great.
Yeah, really good editing too. So I've been really enjoying his videos, especially whenever he talks about like vintage sets, like vending or 1997 Card Ass, which is another sweet set that me and a couple friends are into. So this is
love those.
So this is, I need to send this into CGC 10. Yeah, you have the War Turtle, right, from Jake?
Yep. Oh no. Oh, I got this one.
Yeah, War Turtle. Dude, all of these artworks are just so cool.
They're the best.
So
they're the best, bro. They're the best.
Yeah, so like old school cards. This one's from 1990. They're both from 1997, and just their artwork is so neat. These are like some of the first full arts for Pokemon cards, like,
bro. And I got that.
in
a 9 with you, and I think I paid like $30.
That's super cheap.
And he gave me way too much change back, and I just walked away.
I remember when that happened. But they're just like so undervalued, you know, for how old they are, for how hard they are to find like in good condition.
What was it, 1997, right? I said, yeah. Crazy.
It's
in
crazy.
A 9, bro. In a 9, I was like, it's insane. Yeah, but
if vintage had as many people into it as modern, the prices would be crazy, you know, because there's so much less of the vintage stuff, you know, and it's still like, it's an exclusive artwork, you know. If people want that artwork, they need to buy that card.
Bro, I like, it's gonna sound terrible, but lately I just been gatekeeping. like I hate to be that guy now, but now that I have a little bit of an audience, I'm like, no, I need to buy these cards before I talk about them, because I was talking about these like those proxy cards on Etsy on stream, and then they bought them out. And it was gone. It was gone after the stream. There was only like 4 of them, but I was like, it was a Shadow Lugia proxy card, and I was like, I learned a lesson that day.
Yeah. I was hesitant to talk about the Chinese Pikachus before I picked them up, like coming on here and talking about them. I was like, he has close to 4,000 followers, which congrats, by the way. That's
Thank
awesome.
you, bro.
4,000 subscribers. That's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. I remember when you had like a couple hundred, I think is when like I started following you, but 4,000 is huge. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a real possibility. That's why a lot of people don't talk about specific cards on like podcasts like this, especially like vintage ones, because there's so few of them. Like I could talk about a Pikachu card. There might be like 2 on eBay, you know, so you just need like 2 people to want to go buy like a PSA 9 that's like $200, and then like that's it.
Over.
Yeah, that's it. And then the next one is like $500, because that's just what's listed, you know. So that's why a lot of people don't talk about specific like vintage cards, especially if they don't have them yet, you know.
Yeah, because I used to watch Pokebeard's videos when he used to do the vintage videos, and you know, compared to his other videos, they do terrible, right? And I'm like, oh, do people just not care about vintage? But then I started to, you know, once I put 2 together, when that situation happened to me with the crappy proxy card, right, $25 proxy card, Team Rocket Joey's in here, but me and Joey Joey has the same thing. Joey's like, he gets DMs of people of, you know, buying cards out when he just talks about them for, you know, it's like we don't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, you know, we're not freaking Leonhardt, so the impact still is pretty significant for stuff. But yeah, I've been keeping some of these cards that's why I started the membership only program. I was like, dude, I'm gonna put these behind a paywall. Like, there's gonna be like 10 people that are gonna see these, and if they want to grab the cards that I'm grabbing, like, cool. But like, I'm not giving these out free to the world to just like scoop up for, you know. It's like you said, like there could only be 5, 10 of them, and once they're bought out, like that's freaking it.
Well, you gotta think like the people that are consuming this kind of content, like me, like you, like we're on YouTube, we spend like sometimes hours a day consuming like Pokemon content.
6 hours a day. That's my hours.
A lot of hours every week. So like people that are this into the hobby, this into collecting, you don't need many people, you know what I mean? Because like a lot of the people, a big percentage of the people are gonna probably at least look at what you're talking about, you know? Even like I do it, like if I'm listening to podcasts and someone says a card that like I don't know, or it's like, oh, I'm like, oh, I wonder what that's going for. I won't even close the podcast. I'll just change the screen. I'll be listening to the podcast. So open up eBay and be like, oh, what's this going for? Oh, that's not that bad. That seems undervalued. Yeah, you know, like I do it myself.
Mine was I don't know if you watch OKJ Love's new podcast with the guy that does oh my gosh, Pokeka Talk. It's dude, it's if you like Japanese.
I know OKJ Love. I've watched a lot of his videos.
He the guy that does oh my gosh, what's the Japanese?
How new of a podcast is it?
Like 3 episodes in. They used to do oh my gosh, name the forums, like the popular forums, like Poke Beach, Poke Guardian. The guy that does Poke Guardian. All Japanese content, bro. But they like, it's such a. I'll send it to you. It's such a breath of fresh air. It's insane. Like I am like fiending for an episode every time. I can't click fast enough. Yeah. They talk about like the artist, interviews with the artist, how they got inspiration to the style, stuff like that. But they always have straight grails on there. So just like you were saying, how you didn't even let the podcast like finish, you just went in. So this was like my last pick from
huge.
It's amazing. Like I didn't know. I forgot that Lieutenant Surge even had an Eevee. Like usually you see the Lieutenant Surge's Jolteon, right?
Yeah.
But Lieutenant Surge's Eevee, I was like, oh, this is a buy. Like this is a buy right now. I think I paid like $20 for it.
Yeah, some of those like old school common cards. And I mean, in a 9, they're dirt cheap. But even in a 10, it's like they're still really cheap compared to modern cards. Especially if you think about a lot of those early cards are like some of the rookie cards of Pokemon. You know, so if you don't do the first one, like Jungle Eevee, which like obviously everyone knows about that card, but like a couple after exactly like that one, it's like it's one of the original Eevees. $20. That's crazy, you know.
Yeah.
Compared to like a modern card where there's like tens of thousands, there's probably like a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 of those in total graded. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, but because if you think about it, and I was having this discussion with Jake recently. Most people when they enter, and this is just pointing back to the comment from earlier, who, you know, he's just got into it and he only knows about modern. I feel like after a few years of really being in the hobby, most people get into vintage because you just learn as you learn stuff, you learn about the history of Pokemon, you learn about like the rookie cards of your favorite Pokemon. I think it takes a couple of years for people to really learn about the older cards before they get into them. And I think a lot of like the vintage boom we're seeing right now is from people that got into the hobby like in 2020, 2021. And now end of 2024, a lot of the vintage cards like started seeing a lot of like growth. And I think it's because a lot of those people that got into it back then finally like, you know, now they're training in their modern for this, or I think eventually all roads lead to vintage, or people just get out. That's what Jake said. Either they get into vintage after a few years, or they just get out because you can't just stay in modern. Like modern is awesome, it's amazing, it has the best artworks in the hobby, but eventually, like you can't only be in modern because modern is always changing. You know, so like when people establish collection goals, you can't just collect all of modern because then you're just constantly buying like all the new chase cards, and you're spending how much money every month on the modern cards. You know, eventually you like want to solidify and you want to focus on a certain Pokemon or a certain series or certain sets, and usually that means vintage. So
yeah, I agree. I totally agree, bro. That's exactly how I got into even Sun and Moon, right? I mean, that's ultra modern, but I was like, oh, Sword and Shield is great. Like, what did I miss? And then I start going back and I'm like, where's the last other card I purchased? Gosh, damn it. I should have had it ready. Anyways, the Typhlosion, I think, were you with oh no, that was the Sacramento card show. It's the Typhlosion from, oh my gosh, I'm freaking blanking.
The artware?
No, it's not an artware. Oh dude.
From Sun and Moon?
No, it's like oh my gosh, it's around here somewhere. I forget. But anyways, this Typhlosion I never seen before in my life, and I was like, I was trading in a V-Star Universe booster box. It was like $80 or something like that, and I was like, I've never seen this Typhlosion before. I don't think anyone knows it exists. Like, and that's the rabbit hole, or not the rabbit hole, but the momentum of the, once you start going down that hole, dude, you're like, what else? Like, because I'm a huge Typhlosion lover.
Typhlosion's sick.
Yeah, I grabbed on the last Sacramento card, like vendor night, I grabbed a Typhlosion, the standard. I what Neo set, but he's just like this, like in a red background. I forget what Neo set that's from, but so it said French on it, right? So I was like, I looked at the card and I was like, I don't know if this is French, but grabbed it. It was like kind of damaged. I was like, whatever, it's going for a binder. Bring it home, and I show it to my girl. My girl's like, what idiot put French on that? It's Portuguese. It's like, it's
That's
Portuguese.
Funny.
And yeah, so
you're like, I like it even more now.
Yeah, so it was cool. It was super cool. But just that's where the rabbit hole goes. And in that moment, I was like, bro, like vintage just brings you back. Like it really like snaps you out of like. I feel like with ultra modern, people are trying to collect as much as they can, where like vintage is like you can find so much more happiness consolidated into one card. I don't know. That's how I was a Sandstorm. Sorry, Typhlosion from Sandstorm. I don't know if you've seen that.
I don't know. Yeah, bring it up. I think what was the point I was gonna make? There's something like, as a collector, like obviously owning something that's beautiful is a big part of collecting, but I think an innate quality that a lot of collectors have is owning stuff that other people don't have. That's a sick card, Typhlosion EX. Yeah,
bro, how evil does that look?
Yeah, he looks menacing for sure.
Yeah. I got it in a 8, a PSA 8.
Nice. You bought a graded card. You've been getting into graded cards a lot more recently, huh?
Yeah, not willingly.
Not grading yourself though. You haven't graded yourself, right?
No, I haven't, dude. I got a big stack for Jake though. When we go visit him,
I got a stack for him too.
Yeah, so I like I said, it's the plays, but I didn't want this graded. It's just the card looks so cool, and I was like, I want this displayed forever. I want to look at this like every day. I love Typhlosion, dude. I'm all for like evil dark art in Pokemon. We don't see it enough. I'm either two of the extremes. I'm either like, I want cute cuddly Pokemon with just like playing around and just being fun, and then I need them to look like they're gonna commit like a massive slaughter of hundreds of thousands of people, like the Genesect V from from Destined Rivals, like, or from Black Bolt White Flare. I'm sorry. Don't
I got a question for you. Since you're talking about this right now, I got a couple of questions that I think I should sing off to you now.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
This one might be tough. Well, I think all of mine are kind of tough. You can't just answer right off the bat. You kind of have to think about them.
Shit.
Favorite artworks of all time?
As far as like the set?
No, like actual cards. Like, what are some of your favorite artworks of all time?
Mine is actually all the tag team cards.
All of them.
Because why? Because literally what I just said, my collection is so contrasting. It's either they need to be menacing, like big tanks. Huge fan of the tanks, right? The Blastoise and Nidokings. Like that was such a, oh man, like I love seeing those vintage posters of just the tanks, like that. To me, that's what an end stage evolution should look. Cute to teenager to tank. So what tag teams brought was the best of both worlds for me, and I'm a huge fan of the babies. True. The Igglybuff, Togepi. My girl's a huge Togepi collector. All of her pictures on my phone is literally Togepi. I could show you, like she's literally Togepi on my phone, bro.
That's cute.
So that's where my heart is. Like I love seeing the Piplup and Blastoise.
I was gonna say, so what are like your top 3 favorite tag team cards then? You can't just say all of them. You have to pick.
Yeah. Pip. So that's loaded. I think my favorite one is the Piplup Blastoise.
And is that the one like
that where Piplup's sitting on top of Blastoise, where they're looking up?
Okay, yeah.
That one's my favorite. And then I like I mean, I like the biblical style cards as well. Again, that's the contrasting, but I like the Espeon and Deoxys coming up from the ground. I just the tag teams, bro. Like they just did something special,
They're
bro.
fire.
They
They're
did
fire.
something
All the cards with
special.
multiple Pokemon on them are fire, and the tag team like made it official. You know, they had both Pokemon in the title of the card. So I also love tag teams. I don't have any. I haven't. I've never really owned any. But I agree with you. Some of those tag team cards are sick. I really love the ADP, the Arceus Dialga-Palkia, like the statue. Like that card is sick. I do like the babies, the Igglybuff, the Togepi, and what's the last one?
Iggly, Togi, and
where they're like in a circle. They're like above like all the Pokeballs, right? It's like the
Cleffa.
Yeah, Cleffa. That's right. Yeah. And then like the Umbreon Darkrai is sick, and there's like
it's like it was, dude. Like I'm so pissed because like I explained this multiple times before. Like Pokemon gets foggy, but my brother, my stepbrother, my adopted brother, he would always have Pokemon around. Like he would even when I was completely out, because I got really into like cinematography. I told you I was like filming every weekend. I pretty much had a full-time job filming, but he would always bring his Game Boy or his Switch or DS or whatever it was at the time, and he would always be opening up packs. But it was like so like nonchalant in like our household, so it never really like we would watch still Indigo League together. We would watch all the new Pokemon series. But when you're in your 20s, dude, and you're like partying and you're like chasing girls and stuff, and like you're not really like realizing what's going on around you. So Pokemon was just always, you know, in and out of the house. So I didn't really pay too much attention, but I wish, bro, like I wish I got back in during Sun and Moon. That's like my biggest, like, obviously I can't regret it because I wasn't, you know, it is what it is, but and it sucks. Like I do want to own a Unified Minds booster box. I do remember my brother opening packs of Unified Minds and Cosmic Eclipse. Like, so those two sets, like, and it again, and that, like, I don't really have a relationship with my brother anymore. So that kind of holds like its own value, you know. So why I love Sun and Moon stuff. But yeah, great question, bro. Yeah, it's probably that, and then like ultra modern stuff, like that's tough. Probably something like I own. I grabbed recently was like I'm a huge Tyranitar fan as well, but like just a sleepy tea card. This is in Korean.
I love that card. It's one of the first like alt arts from Sword and Shield. I think it's awesome. I used to have the Japanese one in a PSA 10, and I traded it away. But I think it's an awesome card.
I like when Pokemon is like my girl got me for Christmas for my birthday. It's like a $500 rug that's on my wall right now. It's like Pupitar, Larvitar, and Tyranitar. But I love when you see these like the tanks in like like in their non-aggressive form. It's like, you know, what is that? I think there's like a Tepig in there. Or a Emboar,
I think the first stage. I think.
And he's like, they're all afraid that he's gonna like wake up and eat more food, like stuff like that, dude. It's like just chef's kiss. Like that's probably has really to be one of my top cards. And then like I guess for number 3, it might sound it's the biblical 4 from and I guess. To me, that's V-Star. Like one artwork from Crown Zenith and V-Star Universe.
Yeah, those are amazing.
We just never seen. So I actually sold like my 2 copies that of Arceus and Dialga because I want them in Japanese. Like if I'm gonna hang those up, so Etsy actually sells like those gold frames where it looks like an old vintage. Yeah. So I'm gonna throw those in there, and like those are probably off the top of my head. I'm sure I could think of like other ones, but those are probably my top 3. You know. Favorite art in Pokemon, and I know that's not cool because it's not old, but I'm sure I could get, you know, if I really thought of like the vintage stuff. Like I don't really have any real nostalgia with, and it sounds crazy, but with the older stuff, like especially base set, Fossil, Jungle. I don't like, even though I opened that stuff when I was a kid, I don't really, those arts don't really. Yeah, I own them all, but I don't like.
You have them like in binders or something.
Yeah, binders. Yeah. And then it's like the stuff like let me show you.
Little Blaine's Charizard in the background. Yeah.
Like this stuff. I mean, these are PSA 4s and 6s, but like that. And then
they're iconic.
Yeah, just straight iconic, bro.
Yeah, I mean, That's why the question is phrased like that, right? Favorite artworks, not necessarily like favorite card, right? Because the vintage cards, I love them, but it's not necessarily because the artwork is like the best. Because really, we're in like a golden era for like Pokemon art,
for
right?
sure.
And I'm just beating a dead horse here because everyone kind of knows that already. But yeah, that's why specifically favorite artworks of all time and not like favorite card of all time.
Me and my girl, we were watching Generations, the ones where it's like the 10-part series on Pokemon Japan YouTube. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. No,
dude. Oh my god, dude, promise me you're gonna watch that like this weekend, bro. Like, so it's all the generations, and they just fight the main boss or the main legendaries. And it goes, of course, the one they ended was Kanto. But Charizard, bro, like me and my girl, she's like, yeah, I'm just a huge Charizard fan. Like, I just realized that like I'm just in love with Charizard, and I was like, dude, we kind of came to the realization how awesome Charizard was. Like, damn, dude, I have a good size Charizard set collection, but I was like, damn, maybe I should like really lean into the older Charizards, because those cards, like the Blaine's Charizard is probably one of my favorite arts as well. But I think Charizard is an entirely different category. Same thing with you and Pikachu and stuff. But yeah, hope I answered your dude.
So I don't have a lot of base set, right? But this is like the one. Well, I have base set Pikachu's obviously too, but like this is the one Charizard I have left. I used to, when I first got back, I was collecting Charizards.
Yeah.
But this, I as my collection has changed over the years, it's the one that I've kept. And these three are actually from like most of the cards I have now in my collection are not the cards I had from like my collecting as a teenager. Like all those cards I had, like I either graded and then I sold, or I traded raw. But I have just a couple cards from that time, and these three are like from that time. So they all graded sequentially in PSA 9s. So like these three, even though they're not Pikachu's, like it's not like the Pokemon I collect. These are like super nostalgic for me, and like, and this leads into another question that I want to ask you later. Like, if I had to sell all of my Pokemon cards, like for whatever reason, like who knows? The reason doesn't matter, but like, if you had to for whatever reason, I would not be able to sell those because like they're sentimental to me, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's another question I had for you was. Yeah, if you had to sell off your entire PC, which 3 to 5 items would you keep? Like, you have to sell it all, and you can keep. Let's say if you have to do 5, you can do 5. But if you can like just do 3 items that you can keep, and it's everything, all your booster boxes, all your singles, all your stuff, you can only have 3 items. Like, what would they be?
So
have you ever thought about this? Have you ever thought?
I almost lost my job this year because of huge cutbacks. But and dude, I've been at my job going on 17 years.
Damn.
And
that's
so
huge.
Huge layoffs, bro. And I barely made it. We had all these, but anyways, so I was thinking about selling off, the entire collection, and I did sell a lot of the collection to just majority focus on like what I actually wanted and take investing a little bit more serious. But probably to start off would probably be the Fusion Strike booster box, and these are all like there's sentimental reasons. So when I grabbed that Fusion Strike booster box, I that's when I took like a turn for investing. I was like, okay, like this. I think this box is going to do well over time. I remember like watching my first investing style content, and now look where I'm at now. I've got tons of this stuff. So I would keep the Fusion Strike just for that sentimental reason. For 2, and this sounds crazy, but I can get rid of almost all of it, and it really doesn't matter to me, just because like So my parents got a divorce. My dad went down a crazy hole of depression and all that stuff. Lost the house. Lost my entire Pokemon collection. I mean, I had all these cards, dude, and I thought they were safe at the parents' house, but dude didn't want to, pay the bills, and they're gone. So in my heart, I'm just like this. I'm starting for fresh, pretty much from Sword and from Sun and Moon, or early Sword and Shield, because I still remember seeing Sun and Moon packs, like at little video game stores here in Sacramento.
What about certain cards that were either gifted to you or ones you pulled and like they're attached to a certain memory? Like, is there any like that like it would be hard to get rid of?
I did have that, and it did kind of bother me. So my boy Eric, he actually pulled 2 Dialgas. I hope Eric is watching or listening to this, but he pulled 2 Dialgas from the same Crown Zenith tin, and he gifted one to me for my birthday. But I just sold it, and that was kind of like hard for me. But it's just I'm gonna get that card back in Japanese, you know. And then the same thing with the Arceus from Crown Zenith. I pulled that from my first pack. One of my like OG subscribers, Jordan. He was like, dude, that's like my introduction to you and your channel was you like reacting to pulling the Arceus in like such a calming way of like of a true collector of the card, you know.
Which one? Which
Arceus? The gold Arceus from
such a good card.
Yeah,
dude.
So I let that one
in Japanese. I love the Japanese version. I don't know
exactly.
if yours is English, but
it was in English. So I had no like, bro. Once the Japanese mindset flipped in his head, it was over for English. But other than that, bro, like everything, like maybe the Blaine's Charizards are sentimental to me because I bought those when they've increased in price, even the 4s and the 6s. But they were cards I never thought I'd ever own because how expensive they were. And just one day a PSA 4 popped up and then a PSA 6 popped up on eBay. And I was like, oh, those are buys. And those are the cards like I remember coming back to a card shop with my brother or with cousins and seeing those cards and seeing like, oh, I'm never gonna. I mean, we were dirt poor, bro. So I was like, there's no way my parents would ever buy me any of those. But it's sad to say. I mean, it kind of sucks, right? Like saying that I could get rid of anything. I love that card, bro.
So this is English, right?
Yeah.
You'll notice. So it's the same way where like the actual card, like obviously I love this artwork, but like the English texturing is just like meh to me. You know? Yeah. Like the actual card,
it's
like
flat.
It's flat. It's like there's a little bit of texturing, but it's like it's nothing like Japanese. But this card at my first Collecticon in 2022 in Long Beach, I went with one of my childhood best friends. Because I grew up in San Diego, so he drove up from San Diego, and I flew down from the Bay Area, and we walked around the whole convention all day, and then we bought an Evolving Skies booster box at the show. We paid like 100 and I think people were trying to sell them for like 180, and we bought one for like 170 or something like that.
Yeah.
And we went to like islands across the street, and we ripped it while like waiting for our food right there on the table. And we pulled 2 alt arts. We pulled the one that looks like Batman. I always get
Noivern?
Yes, we pulled that one, and then we pulled this one out, the same booster box. And at the time, I was not into modern at all. I was only into vintage. So I told my friend, like, you keep this. He was literally buying the evolutions at the show, the alt arts. He was buying them, and he already had the Umbreon. But I said, you keep it, man. I'm not into modern. I just wanted to rip it with you. And then it was like a year later where I was like, man, it would be really cool to own that, or like to have that, because of that memory. Like my first Collecticon, going with one of my childhood best friends, and it's also, it's a cool looking card. So like he gave it to me. He already had one, so it was his second one. So he gave it to me, got it graded, came back at 10, which is awesome. And the card has gone up a lot in value. Like when I first got it, like I think it was like when he gave it to me and it graded at 10, I think it was worth like $300 or something. Yeah. And now it's like over $1,000. And like I look at the price, I'm like, oh my god, that like I could get a sick Pikachu for this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like I can't, and that like I just can't sell it. It's too good of a card. So I have like certain cards that like they're not a Pikachu, they're not vintage, but they're just like attached to certain memories, like this one too.
Oh yeah, I almost got rid of that this past weekend. I might still get rid of it, by the way. I just English is going crazy.
This part is awesome. It's the Japanese one, which I love. So I opened this one with my fiance. Like we opened Shiny Treasure booster box like 2 years ago almost at this point, and we pulled that. And like I don't rip a lot. I've probably opened in the past couple years since I've been back in the hobby, probably 5 or 6, like no more than that, probably close to 10 modern booster boxes, like mostly Scarlet Violet. All Scarlet, they're all from Scarlet Violet. That's the only like Pokemon Ultra I've pulled, so
yeah, it's tough.
So between it being the only one like Ultra I've pulled, and then like pulling with my fiance, it's like I had to keep it. So these are like the 2 kind of modern cards that I couldn't get rid of, like no matter what. So it's like that Charizard that I showed you, those 2 cards, and then like maybe like this is a Pikachu. This is also from my childhood collection, my teenage collection, the birthday Pikachu. So this is another one that I could not sell.
Have you ever graded? Have you ever graded like one of your childhood cards that you knew was going to be a terrible grade, but you just wanted to like preserve
encapsulate it?
Yeah, encapsulate it. Yeah.
I mean, nothing that I have right now for sure. Like when I got back into the hobby, I graded. Well, actually, I graded a bunch of old Yu-Gi-Oh cards that like played with, you know, and I just wanted to grade them. And like all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I had still from my childhood were like a combination of like my cards and like my cousin's cards, my brother's cards. So my like I graded a couple of them, and like I gave one to my cousin, and I kept, you know, I kept one, like some of our favorite cards from back then. Super played with. They're like they graded like between 4 and 6 or whatever.
Oh yeah, you know? Bro, look at this. Look at these. That's funny. I always have these around, but these are freaking beat.
There we go. Yeah,
but they're pretty bad.
Yeah,
they're definitely.
We actually played with them. You know what I mean?
We played with them pretty bad. My Red Eyes Black Dragon has like a freaking crease, a fat crease on it. But these are great, dude. Like I could maybe this is like something I could never like. Look, I don't know if you guys can see the crease, the fold. There's
how beautiful the card is. That's all.
Okay, cool, perfect. It's beautiful. Yep, it's perfect. It's 10. But yeah, I don't think I'd ever get rid of these. That's so maybe that. I have like a memory. So when I first started the channel, I was opening as much as I could. And I remember I had a crappy little setup, and I pulled the Charizard from Brilliant Stars from a Costco tin, and I had some type of sentimental value, but then I literally sold it for the Umbreon from Trassel. This last like card show. I was like,
that's a fair trade though.
Yeah, I was like, because I was like looking at it, and the Japanese price was like pretty affordable, and I was like, I'm just gonna sell this and get the Umbreon. And now the Umbreon is going for like, I got mine for $265 around there, right? $265, $270, and now it's like what, like $340 or something in Japanese. So, and I think that's a card of the era, and.
A Scarlet Violet?
Yeah, in my personal opinion. Like
over Bubble Mew?
For sure. It's not even close.
I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence between the two.
No, because so let me explain why. So the Bubble Mew is a straight artificially pumped card. Like I have multiple people that actually know. I don't know if you watched that the live with my boy Poke Drops. He's like the OG Pokemon pinging person, right? So he knows the guy that originally pumped the Bubble Mew, or the group.
Yeah.
So he told me that really early, and I thought he was a conspiracy theorist. And then the other bigger, more fact-checked YouTubers started reporting on it, and I was like, dude, that guy literally lives here. Yeah, we call him the jeweler, and he buys out, bro. Like, if you ever want to sell $100,000 worth of Pokemon cards, he's the guy. And
I don't have that much, so maybe not yet. But
50K, 25K, like he's always buying. He's very well known, but that's why I don't believe in the Bubble Mew long term. I think that card is going to correct a nice little bit. But the Umbreon, bro, it's like it has everything, right? It's like I just posted a Prismatic Evolutions video right before we started this, but as much as I talk mess about the set, I do understand the value of that card and the importance. Like
you picked it up in Japanese, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
There's no way I was gonna pick that thing up in English. There's no way. That thing it's a recipe for disaster. But it has the Trassel, gimmick. It has the rainbow borders that people supposedly don't like, and then it's rip off of the Umbreon. I mean, you could kind of say that to all the Umbreons, right? They all have a moon for the most part. The OG Umbreon that Jake just picked up, but it's just to me it was an easy buy. Like at $275, I'm like I kind of want to buy more.
Now is the time to buy them. Again, I'm wary of any like super high pop card. There's I think there's over 40,000 PSA 10s. Like there's a lot, but it's also a very desirable card. It's like the Van Gogh. It's like there's a lot of people that want it. But now is the time to buy it for sure. Like 6 months to a year after a card comes out, it's usually normally it's the time to buy. Right now, it's hard to say because
Yeah.
Market's crazy right now. But.
And I think those like cards like that could be a quick flip though. I think we have to, and it sounds terrible. I hate talking like this, but there's people are so hungry to throw money at stuff, you know, like the people are making terrible financial decisions. And I'm like, if I can grab a 10 a few times and just flip them while they're hot, I don't really see why not. But you know, I think right now is a quick flip market. I don't think these are long-term holds unless it's for your PC. But again, I could be completely wrong. But I don't know, man.
I don't think there's anything wrong with like talking about like quick flips, especially since I think a lot of the flipping you're doing, you're just putting right back into your collection. So it's like, well, most people don't have like the money to just drop put $1,000 into Pokemon cards. So like a lot of people, they flip to fund their collection, and that's totally fine. And even if you're flipping to like just fund your life, that's totally fine too. You have an awesome job, I don't think there's anything. Anyone can buy the raw card that you're gonna buy. Anyone can.
No, yeah, and it's been hard for me to come to that reality, because I always thought like a flipper was like, or not a flipper, just like a collector that rolls into his collection again. I always had this not anger, but just like this weird vibe. I'm like, oh, this guy just wants to buy out all the cards, and just like a greedy mentality. Until we're in these times and you're like, oh dude, I can't even find a booster pack. Like, yeah, it's time to think a little bit different of how to grab cards, and there's a lot of stuff that is just unattainable. But yeah, now that I'm looking, I know you're gonna love this, but sorry to throw a this one. Yeah, I got this from Japan.
The OG right there.
I'm gonna have Jake grade this. I don't even care what it comes back in. Like, I just want it preserved. It's probably gonna come back as a terrible grade. 100%. Brandon says, I don't want that Van Gogh. Don't like the sentiment around it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. When it came out, I loved it. I'm a huge fan. I'll show it. Been wanting to show it. So this is like when I told you that I traded a lot of my modern for like a modern Grail recently. So it's the only like modern card it's the only modern Pikachu I have. I just showed 2 other modern cards, but I have this bad boy.
Munch.
Yeah, the Munch. So this is my favorite like Pikachu full art. Favorite Pikachu full art. It's my favorite modern Pikachu card. Just like the release method, the artwork, like the whole set. There's so many cool things about that card. But Van Gogh is like the second iteration. If you don't count like the stamp box Pikachu, because that one's also like from a famous Japanese artwork. But the Van Gogh is like, it's like a direct almost sequel to this card, right? But there's just so many of the Van Goghs, and like that card jumped from like 1,000 to 2,000 within like a week or two. Like, it was what was that, like 2 months ago at this point, or maybe less than that. But like, yeah, that card with how many there are graded, with the crazy jump it made, a month ago or whatever. Yeah, it is sketch. I would not be buying it at the price that it's going for right now, for sure.
I'm so bummed I missed out at that card at like $60 when I was covering it. I was like, this is gonna be a dude. I was so stupid.
Dude. Me too. I remember when it came out. It came out. I tried to get one from Pokemon Center, but like it was impossible to get one from Pokemon Center. And I remember it was like on eBay they were selling for like, at the time when it first came out, for like $200. I'm like, at the time I was like, this is crazy, because it was crazy at the time. Like that wasn't a thing for like a card to come out, especially like a free promo.
Exactly.
$200. Like that was way too much. And I was like, I'll buy this when it's like $50. And I was like, it will be $50. And I think it dropped from 200. I don't think it ever dropped below. Well, you're saying you slipped in it for 60.
Yeah, I saw it for 70, 75. And I believe it came with a plush.
Yeah, I think you had to buy. There was a bunch of like merchandise you can buy from the Van Gogh exhibit, and then they would just give you the promo with the merchandise.
Maybe it was 90. Yeah. Maybe it was 90. Yeah, Brandon was saying. Yeah, I think the lowest, because I covered that card for weeks, and I was like, this is for sure going to $30. Like this, nah, hadn't. But it's like again, like, regardless of how we feel about if the pump was like artificial or not, the pump is the pump, and the market is the market. And
sometimes it doesn't matter if like the market growth was natural or not.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's just like the market price is just set no matter what caused it, and that's just like what the price is going to be. And it might retrace. It's a good and I'm talking broadly right now, but there's a good chance that the Van Gogh is going to retrace, but it's never going to retrace down to what it was.
Nah,
it
absolutely not.
might retrace down. If things go really bad, I could see Van Gogh being close to $1,000 again. I really could. But it's not going to be like a sub $500 card. Like I doubt that. Maybe in a very long time from now, in a very different space, like time. But that card is, for a lot of people. People talk about supply not mattering, demand only mattering, and also cards that symbolize an era. I know you said Umbreon is going to be the card for the Scarlet Violet block, and for like set cards, it might be. But I think when people think about Scarlet Violet or think about this time, like 2024, 2025, Van Gogh is like one. It's like the face,
It
symbolizes the market and what the market has done a lot in the past year,
Yeah.
So yeah, just like Moonbreon has only gone up. Like I remember when Moonbreon was like $700, and everyone's like, "This is crazy! Like how is Moonbreon $700? Like all the YouTubers are like, this is insane! It's gonna lose 50% of its value." And now how much? It's like over 2,000.
Yeah, 24. Yeah, 23.
It's crazy. So yeah.
I can't wait for like. I think that once we get down to our sleepy lull period, cards like the Van Gogh Pikachu will be one of the first to be affected.
Oh yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah. But it's like you said, it doesn't matter if it's natural or not. Yeah. But so we're at 140. You want to go for an extra 15, or you want to call it?
Yeah, we can do another 15. Yeah,
cool. Well, do you have any other questions for me that you?
I just bought a Van Gogh, my favorite card. It's an awesome card. It really is. And if you bought it for collection, then that's an awesome pickup. And congrats.
That's awesome. I agree with David. It said Bubble Muse for the hype beast.
I think it's an awesome card, dude.
I see. I love it. I love the simplicity. I love it's great, but I don't like the people that are behind that pumped it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people bought a lot of those cards. Like, there's someone local out here who's like a friend of mine. He's a really cool guy, but he was buying them like crazy because he wasn't pumping it. He just thought it was an awesome card, and he was just collecting them. And then they went crazy. And I mean, he had like over 50 between English and Japanese. And he made a ton of money on them. And he's not the only person like that. There was a lot of people that were just really buying that card. So I'm not surprised that like a lot of people were pumping it because it was very cheap. I've had 3 Bubble Muse. I had 3 Japanese ones, and I bought a raw one at $50. And I think the Japanese one in a 10, I think it's retraced a little bit, but it was like pushing 700 like a month ago or something. And like I sold mine to like a friend. I sold one at Collecticon for like 180, and then I sold one to a friend, probably valued at like 250 or something, and then it like went up to $700 like a month later. So, but like everything in this market is just nuts,
Yeah.
So,
that's the thing. It's like you sell it, right? And you're like, oh, I sold it at a pretty decent fair value, and then the next week it goes up 4x.
I try not to look at the cards that I used to have, like their value, especially right now. Like sometimes you're curious and you're like, oh, I wonder what this card's doing, and you're like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have checked that. Now I just feel dumb, But at the same time, like you traded it for something that is probably also going up, or you probably enjoy more, So
yeah, I made a video maybe like 2 weeks ago, right before this last card show. So I sold all of my full arts to a kid in not kid, but he's like in his 20s, but he was vending his first show in LA, and I just put up all my full arts. Like I don't have any reason to hold full arts in my binder. I was like, to take a binder space, whatever, right? List them on eBay. I ended up selling them, or list them on Facebook. I ended up selling it for like 7 and some change. Bro, Danny Phantom put out a video this morning of some of those cards. Like they're up like 50, 60%. And I let them go for like $2, $3, $5. And some of them went up to $40. Some of them went into, but it is what it is. I'm glad that somebody is valuing those cards because I didn't value them. So that's how I have to look at it. And I agree. Like it's tough, but what are you going to do? What was I going to do? I was going to list them all on eBay and like go through. No.
If you sell Pokemon cards ever, you're going to feel that feeling because Pokemon cards just feel like they all just really just go up, right? So if you ever sell a card, you're going to experience that feeling. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Especially in this market, dude. Like I even have even when I like I said, like I have a bunch of like these EV stamp promos, the Iono's Kilowatt Roll Japanese promo. Like you have them in your house long enough, you start start establishing this like connection with them, and even it sucks even letting go like duplicates. It's a weird thing, you know, that's just the nostalgia that's like pulling on your heartstrings.
It's hard for like a lot of like I move my collection changes all the time in the past couple of years, but like when like that those few weeks leading up to like, you know, the eventual like trade or whatever, it hurts like because you've had some of these cards for a while and it's just like it feels like you're betraying letting a piece, betraying them or like letting go a piece of yourself. You know, I always tell myself that if I really miss it and if I want it back, I'll just get it back because most of these cards, unless it's like literally a trophy card where there's like 10 copies of every card you can get again if you really want it. Actually, this card I used to own in a CGC 9 and I traded it towards another grail. I actually traded it towards that right there. I don't know if you know what that is or not, but I traded it towards that in 2023. And then like I've missed it since then, 2 years. And it's the only card that I sold and I had to get back. So
what card is it? Do you want to grab it?
Oh, this back here?
Yeah, what is it?
It's actually not a card. Hold on. Because I told you I'm into other collectibles too. 1 second.
And then Jake's got a good question for us too.
So
but we'll tackle that after though.
So this is Japanese Pokemon Yellow, right? Yes. So this is the original release. You can see the label right there, 1998. So the Japanese early games, they didn't come sealed. So in order to authenticate this is never opened. VGA, which is the only company that authenticates the Japanese games right now, is they look at the seal and they look for like evidence of opening. So it's like it's very minuscule how they do this, and it's very like precise. And there's very few graded copies of this game. So yeah, this is as a Pikachu collector, I saw this as like a grail, so I had to pick it up. And then I also have
just wait till you go to Japan, bro.
Oh yeah, they're all over the place over there, right?
All over.
Yeah, but never open copies. Not easy to find. Not easy to find. There's like less than 20 graded on the VGA Pop Report, and if you try to buy, I've talked to like people that are heavy into the video game scene. I was very heavy into the video game scene, like in 2023. I used to have more graded video games. You can see some of them. So I have like the Super Mario Bros. For Game Boy Color, and I have like a Zelda game. Because Game Boy was like the big console I had as a kid, and I have a Yu-Gi-Oh game back there too.
Fire.
Can't see it, but yeah, right here, the Yu-Gi-Oh game. And I used to have like a sealed Sapphire and a sealed Silver, like the English copies that I've traded them for Pokemon cards, and then I have the sealed Pokemon Yellow. Low grade to me, it's just the fact that it's sealed is like the thing that I think is so cool.
Good.
The Target label, like on the back,
so good.
Just like when you see this on a shelf, or you just like hold it, it's just like brings back so much nostalgia, you know.
Yeah, so. And dude, those are absolute bread. Like now, it's insane.
And then that's an original poster, like that would be in a game store that they would hang on the wall to promote the game. So I think it just goes so good together.
Jake asked, favorite sealed product that you wish you picked up that you regret not buying. I got a modern pick, and then I got a vintage, obviously. But I'll let you go first.
Oh, regret not buying. In terms of like in terms of investing, I should have. I've learned so much in terms of like investing in the past like year, you know, like seeing what English UPC promos have done. Like they've gone crazy. So like I remember I bought a Charizard UPC, the Crown Zenith one for my nephew for like $80. Like when was that? End of 2022, beginning of 20. I was like a Christmas present. It was $80, and like now that UPC is like
500,
something like that. I was gonna say over 400, but yeah, maybe $500. So it's like those. I should have just bought a couple more. Like so much has changed, you know. It's so much. It's so different now. So it's hard. Like no one could have known, or maybe Jake knows. He's been buying
Jake knew
promos for like so long so he's known the whole time. So maybe that, like I had like an Eevee Heroes box, a sealed box, and I sold the Japanese one, and I sold it recently. So like, it's hard for me to regret that.
You can still get that anytime. They're all over Japan.
This is my last sealed. Well, I have this too. This is my last sealed products. So obviously Japanese base sealed. Yep. So this is from my childhood. These are both from my childhood. And then you know what this is? This is like a Japanese base booster pack, but it's obviously a box, and this is a guaranteed holo in it. So this is
Dang.
50% chance at a holo,
Yep.
the Japanese base, and then this
100%.
is 100%. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So those are my last two sealed things. And I used to have more from my teenage collection. I had like a sealed pack from like base all the way up to like expedition. Like I had all the sealed boosters, and I opened them and sold them in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have many regrets in terms of sealed. I probably wish I picked up more 151 when they were at their lowest. I probably that, because me and Jake bought some 151, some Japanese 151 when they were like $80.
Yeah, Jake went crazy. I mean, he's still going crazy on the 151.
Jake, aka Mr. 151.
Mr. 151. I kind of feel the same thing with 151, but I just enjoyed the entire experience. I opened every product like multiple times, and I still have one Japanese booster box left, and I still have like poster collections, binder collections. It's not anything crazy, but it's just the stuff that I want to collect. Yeah. But for me, so I was a waiter in Pacific Grove in my early 20s. Dude, I was making probably the best money I've ever made in my life at that point. And I remember going to a card show and seeing a base set booster box, and me like having the money to grab that box. And I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna one of my biggest regrets of my entire life, and then probably number two biggest regrets of my entire life, is one of my old coworkers was telling me to invest in Bitcoin, like when we were kids, damn near, I'd say in my 20s. And he is now a multimillionaire.
That's crazy.
I am now not. So those are my.
You're a Pokemon millionaire, dude. Just Pokemon in your heart.
Yeah. Oh, bro, I remember seeing, like, going to the card shop either with my coworkers. It was in Pacific Grove, and they had a basic booster box, and I had the money to do it. And I remember about to pull the trigger, and I'm like, do I like Pokemon still? Is this like still a thing? Like, do I like, what is this? Like, what am I gonna do with it? Do I open it? I thought about opening it, bro. Thought about opening it. You
probably would have regretted more if you had done that.
Yeah.
You probably regret it more than you do of not buying it.
But
if you would have bought it and then opened it.
Yeah, bro. At this time, like, I was making ridiculous money, and I was like buying my girlfriend at the time like Louis Vuitton bags whenever she wanted, like throwing like, dude, it was dumb money, stupid. I should have invested all of that money. But anyways, you learn. But if I would have bought that base set box, like that, I still have nightmares to this day. Like, let's just say that, because I still want one, dude. Like, that is like still the grail. And like, I've seen some ones on eBay that are like, they look a little too minty, but I'm still like, I'll pull the trigger. I'm not gonna open it. It's just gonna sit on my thing. Like, whatever. You could go fill it up with GI Joes, as long as it has the wrap on it.
As long as in your heart you think it's sealed.
Yeah, right? I'm not. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. So that's.
I actually have a question that is kind of ties into, which we kind of hinted at it, and we can end it here if you want, or not.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Do you have a grail? And you might have just said it. Is there a grail, a slab, a booster box that's like, I have a right here. It says top unattainable grail, like something that you'll never be able to actually afford someday. Like it's either a trophy card or it's like a steel product, something that like is crazy expensive that you'll never have unless you win the lottery. And then a follow up to it. Would you say a rich collector came to you and he had that card and he loved your whole PC, everything in your PC? And it doesn't matter, it's not the same value. Would you trade your entire PC for that top unattainable grail? Even though they're not the same value, would you trade all of your stuff for that one thing?
Bro, I'm glad that you asked. Because I think about this question every single day. I'm not even kidding.
I do too. I think it's a thought experiment I have quite a bit.
Here it is.
Neo Genesis booster box?
Yeah.
Right, I think you and Jake probably the same.
Neo Genesis booster box, bro. Oh wait, let me view this. Bam. All right, wait. Gosh darn it, where the heck is the freaking thing? Share this tab. Bam. There we go, right on screen.
Dude, they have one in stock.
43 grand. Dude, the crypto my crypto was gonna do these numbers, and I was about to pull the trigger. I'm not even kidding.
It'd be crazy.
Yeah, but I still think that it's going to come down. I think that this is also inflated.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Right now,
enough.
it's not the time to be picking up something like this. So
no. And like my goal, I mean, kind of to bring it all the way back, but the goal for my collection for all the modern, all the flips and stuff is eventually get stuff like this.
Right.
Is the early booster box, dude. Like I like my most nostalgia from Pokemon comes from Gen 2, just because I played Crystal and Gold so much. A huge Meganium fan, huge Pichu fan. Heracross obviously that's Jake's favorite, so that's why he loves it. But freaking, oh my gosh, this freaking Pokemon. Oh my god, I'm blanking. It's like one of my Ampharos and Flappy. I was gonna
Flappy.
Yeah, Flappy. Brains on mush. But
would you say Gen 2 is your favorite generation?
Oh, dude, it's tough. I hate it. I hate that. Like,
you hate Gen 2.
No. It's like, so, and this, me and Eric talked about it on the last podcast, and I didn't know how to express it into words, but like, Gen 2 looks like the most Pokemon. They're like these, like, it sounds so stupid, but they're just very unique. They're very unique designs where I think like the Gen 1 was like experimental animals.
What about Ditto, bro? What are you talking about?
That's true. Ditto's just like a slime.
A blob.
It's a blob. It's like, oh yeah, real creative. But like Gen 2, it's like they figured it out. Do you know what I mean? Does that count?
It's golden era for me.
Yeah,
I was talking about this with Jake and Drew yesterday. It's like for us, and we all kind of agree. And obviously, Jake likes Gen 2 the most, right? He's Jodo Jake. But for us, Gen 1 through 3 is like peak for us, you know? I mean, and that's mostly because of how old we are and what games we played the most, right? But like for me, Gen 3 is like my heart, right? I played Sapphire version, like the hundreds of hours on Sapphire version.
Yeah.
But 1 through 3 are like the 3 I played as a kid, you know?
It's actually right here. Oh, this is Ruby. I'm sorry.
There you go. That's sick. Yeah, I still have I still have all my original games too. So I pull out, and I'm big into like modding old Game Boys. So like I'll like mod them, put like a new screen in it, change the shell out, and play the original games. So like I have a bunch of the original games still in my little collection. But
yeah, which it may sound crazy, but Gen 9 it like has my heart. Like I really enjoy the Gen 9 starters. Like it was definitely like a moment of like I feel this nostalgia in a different way, you know, or in a new way. You like, this is gonna be a very core memory. Like I love Fuecoco. I think Fuecoco is like one of the best starters. I guess I'm Mexican and Filipino, bro. Like it's like it's Spain. It's like I have this tie. I love Crocolore, but I don't know. Like and it sounds crazy. I know people are gonna. Dude, they're gonna like lose their shit if they hear me say like Gen 9 starters are like the best, but I think I love Gen 2. It is hot take, but for my second favorite gens starters is Gen 9. I love Gen 9.
I still haven't played Scarlet and Violet. I still haven't played it.
Dude, it's so good.
A lot of the gaming I do nowadays is to like hang out with people. So like when I game, it's like online and not necessarily like competitively. Just like me and my family and friends play Catan online. Like we're big Catan players, like the board game. So like
cool.
We just do it just to hang out. So like that and like survival games. So like it's hard for me to play like a single player game nowadays. But I do have.
But you still play with your wife. You can play with your wife.
Yeah, we play video games together. We play like co-op games together.
Oh no, I'm saying you could play Gen 9, but with your wife. You guys could both go run around and catch Pokemon and do the trials, everything together.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I got her to start playing. Which one did I get her to start playing? I don't remember which. She started playing one of the Pokemon games, and she got pretty far into it, and she enjoyed it. I think I want her to try Let's Go. I think it was Let's Go
Eevee.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was Let's Go Eevee, and she enjoyed it. She didn't finish it, but we'll probably play either Arceus, maybe the new ZA game. Maybe play
so Arceus really feels like it to me. It's a first person shooter. It's not even a Pokemon game. It's like it's it's my favorite Pokemon game of all time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So it's cool because like you can craft your own Pokeballs, and it has that like it's like vintage Pokemon, you know, like pre Pokemon, you know, of like the technology, and it's cool because you craft these Pokeballs out of like acorns and steel, so it kind of gives it like this like different type of RPG. I love it, and I love the Hisuian region, so it's cool. They're by far my favorite games, and it's cool because it's like it's stealthy. You can ride different Pokemon, so I think it's great. But so I'm gonna pick up ZA tomorrow.
I was gonna say you're probably pumped. Does it come out tomorrow?
Came out yesterday.
Oh,
yeah, came out yesterday. Yep. Last night.
Are you gonna do some live streams, or are you just gonna enjoy it solo?
I'm gonna enjoy it by solo. Yeah, my boy Zach, dude, he's the biggest. If I don't know, he'll probably listen back to this, but he's the biggest Pokemon nerd like I've ever met. He is in the video games, so he's a competitive he plays professionally the video game.
All right on.
But he is like he'll take a week off of work. Like I know he took a week off of work to play ZA.
That's huge. Does he actually compete like at regional events and stuff?
Yep.
Dude, if he can go and win at a world championship, get one of those cards, they sell for a lot of money. Dude, there's a lot of money in playing Pokemon competitive, whether it's the video games or the card games.
I've been trying to get him into the cards, and he just has no interest. He's just pure strategy. Dude. This Pokemon video games, it's literally chess. It's chess on steroids. Yeah. I didn't know it got that deep, but it's you have to think like 10, 15 steps ahead.
It's very strategic. I think a lot of people don't know, because a lot of people that play the Pokemon games play very surface level, but like it's pretty deep, in terms of like all the different like stats and the natures and like EV training and stuff. That's what it used to be. I don't know if it's still like that, but I've had friends that have been.
Well, it's like the setup moves to get it down to a certain HP. The certain HP enables another Pokemon that you have on your bench, put it to sleep, bring another. Like it's like 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. Like he showed me. I was like, bro, I have no interest of doing this. Like he's like, dude, we need to get you streaming. I was like, no, bro, I know. Like the farthest I go is Pocket. Like Pokemon Pocket is freaking great. But yeah. I don't know how we got to Pokemon video games, but yeah, they're freaking great, dude.
That's what started our passion, right? And that's what I tell people why I like the video games so much, is because obviously they're bigger, they display better, but like almost everyone that's in Pokemon, their passion started from the video games, and then you went to the cards because the cards are collectible. But like our passion starts from the game, so it's like, of course, everyone has some kind of memory or nostalgia tied to the game. And that's why I have these couple of them.
Yeah. I tell my girl all the time, because she grew up with Pokemon through the anime, right? So she knows all the animes from probably the first 2 or 3 like by heart. But I told her, I'm like, dude, you need to play like, because I want to get her a modded Game Boy. I'm like, you need to play like just the red and blue. Like you just need to know, because she sends me like Pokemon memes of like Snorlax and stuff, like the Pokeflu, and I'm like, but you don't even know what that's from. Like, like
Snorlax is huge in the video games,
Yeah,
like it's figuratively and literally. So
yeah, it's so good, dude. Like that's what got me. Now I'm thinking that's what got me back into just doing this. What we're doing right now is just a Gen 9, the game. Yeah. Oh yeah, see my girl's in the chat right here. She said might be.
Well, we're gonna get both of them. I've got my wife a Game Boy 2. I modded it and I put it on Fire Red. She couldn't get into like the old school graphics, a little too dated,
That's
what I mean?
That's how my girl is too.
Yeah, I was like, for me, it's like the nostalgia, and I like it, and those graphics and that music, like that 32 pixel. I love it.
Isn't it soothing? Is it soothing to you? Like to me, 100%. Like every time I pop that thing on, like just like the game. Oh my gosh! Like it kind of hums too. Like because we've been around these consoles, but like so my girl, she wanted a GameCube. This is like 2 Christmases ago, so she got a GameCube, and then I bought her the Game Boy SP, like the mod for the bottom,
like the adapter where you can play the Game Boy games.
Yep, and then I got her a Ruby Sapphire. So
best gen right there.
Yeah, best. So she would like take breaks and then forget what she had to do.
That's what my wife says about the Pokemon games. It's like there's no mission. There's no at least in the old school ones, like you didn't have like you can press start and like see what you had to do. Like you had to kind of figure it out.
You had to figure it out.
And it's like there's no direction. Like what do I do? And she'd come to me and I have to tell her. It's like, oh, you got to do this. You got to go do this. She's like, why doesn't it tell me?
Did you have the books? I never got the books.
The strategy guides.
Yeah, I never got the strategy guides.
My cousin might have had one. Like I remember maybe for Gold and Silver, maybe he had one.
Yeah.
And then like I remember for Gen 3, because there's so many like cool secrets in Gen 3. I think like I remember like early days of like the internet, like looking up like how do I get the Reggies? Like you got to do all this crazy shit to get the Reggies. But yeah, that's like peak nostalgia and Pokemon memories for me is like Pokemon games.
That's something that I'm looking to pick up in Japan is those old game guides, you know, in a decent. I'd pay. I don't want to say whatever, but close to whatever to get a gold magazine or walkthrough or whatever. But we had one, bro, that went through like my elementary school. Dude, that thing was just turfed. It was so turfed.
Ran through.
It was it was just like folding into itself like it was pretty much a ball at the end. By the time I got it, it was a ball. But
ran on the strategy guide. That's crazy.
But yeah, we'll end it here. But dude, real talk, bro. Before we go, like you've been my favorite guest. That's it.
Dude.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I'm
pure collector talk. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And again, it's the views don't even matter when we talk about stuff like this because it's like it fuels me. This is gonna fuel me for the next month, you know, to for the content stuff. Now I have to get back to the charts and the.
I mean, we're hanging out in 2 days, bro.
Yeah, I know, facts.
Going to the card show in 2 days, so
for sure. But,
I don't know if you plan on like making a video out of it, but you should definitely just put at least take pictures and videos of what you pick up, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
A lot of people don't have a lot of card shows like we do have here in California, you know.
I know, yeah. To me, it's like I do want to. So now that you say that, I probably will. But it's just like sometimes like my whole life is content. I mean, because I kind of just want to enjoy friends and and time with friends and family, but I still I agree. I'm probably am gonna bring it at least, but
just not like it be the focus, right?
Exactly.
You want to be present. I get that.
Yeah. It's tough because you miss moments through the camera lens. You know, you're like, dang, that was like, you know, seeing my friend, like I told you, my friend Sammy, he just got into the cards and he has a dog named Evie. So he was like, I'm gonna pick up a bunch of Evie cards. So it was cool seeing him, seeing someone through that lens go to their first card show and kind of like reliving the nostalgia and like the ignorance is bliss. Mm-hmm. He would go to a thing and he's like, oh wow, the Eevee promo is like really cool. He's like, oh, like should I buy it? I was like, yeah, dude, it's a cool card. Like if you like the art, like just grab it, you know. And it was really, really refreshing. I was like, damn, dude, I miss being that person. But yeah, so
I think taking someone to their first card show is something special. You know what I mean? Especially someone that is getting back into the hobby. Yeah, it's special. Card shows are awesome. You know, it's just a bunch of eye candy, you know?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. You'll meet my 57-year-old Japanese best friend. So
let's go.
He's sick. He's a Greninja collector. So he's awesome. He comes with me pretty much everywhere, but he's big into Japanese Pokemon, but
awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait, bro. We'll see you in 2 days. It's crazy. The week's already here.
The weeks fly by, man.
Yeah. Right, bro. All right, guys. Thank you again so much. Yeah. Thank you guys. I will see you guys later.